finally exists. What's up, everyone? Andre here, along with Nick, and we have to talk about the Mario Galaxy movie trailer because, as you know, I did a full analysis last night, and I am so in deep on this thing that I have to talk more about it. And we have a lot of questions, some concerns, and we also want to touch about the things we love. So we're gonna go through in order, not that order, ironically. We're going through with things we love first, followed by questions we have, and then we're going to get into our concerns about the movie, if there are any. So we got some dogs that are going nuts, by the way, in the background. I guess they're excited too, which is great. Chat, feel free to chime in at any point. You will be keeping an eye on it, of course. I think I also did I get the super chats working properly? No, I didn't, not in this version. Anyways, whatever. Nick, I want to start off with the things that we are loving about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And I guess as part of that, how are you feeling about the whole thing overall right now?
I thought they nailed it with the first trailer, right? Like they teased us just enough with each individual character, like just enough of Bowser, just enough of Bowser Jr., just enough of Rosalina. So overall for a first trailer, like I was thrilled with it. I thought they did an excellent job.
Yeah, I didn't know fully what to expect, and I was pretty darn happy with what we got. Like yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, it was funny, it's the same characters we knew and loved, plus a few new ones, tons of actions from what we saw already. It just looks amazing, and I like the new voice cast that got announced. I like the additional scenes they showed beyond the trailer. It's interesting that they weren't just part of the trailer itself, but we got a couple extra scenes, and I'm very pleased with what we're seeing so far. So I cannot wait to see more of this movie. I'm hoping we won't have to wait too long. If it works like the first time, we'll get more of the Game Awards, I think. So
yeah, and that's in what, like less than a month now, or exactly a month. Yeah, we should be getting another trailer, or at least a clip, because I think at the Game Awards, the clip that they showed was Mario like exploring the Mushroom Kingdom for the very first time, and Toad was taking him around through the town, and Mario was just like jumping on platforms, and he had no sense of balance or anything. He was just kind of sloppy, and then he eventually gets to the actual kingdom or the castle, and that's it. That's where it ends. But yeah, I love that scene.
It was so fun for me to see Mario, like, who from the games is a pro at this stuff, and not instantly be super good at everything, right? So that was fun. I really enjoyed that, but that also tie into something I'll mention later on for things we love about the Mario Galaxy movie. I guess we'll just launch into it, right? We'll just get into it. All right. So I'll start off here. So chat, first off, we can go over everything we love, then we'll move on to other things. But starting off with one of the things I loved is the fact that we're going to see Mario and Luigi work together here. As I pointed out in my analysis, we actually see Mario and Luigi together throughout the entire trailer. They're in the castle together initially with Bowser, then they're there when Bowser Jr. attacks, and they're there again in the desert. Now, how those connect, I don't quite understand yet, but yeah, I love the fact that they seem to be addressing a problem people had with the first movie where we didn't see them working together as brothers too much, where they really will be. Now, I actually will defend the first movie on how it handled it. I know what some people will be upset by, but I thought it worked for what it was. But now for the second one, yes, we're finally seeing them to work together, which is awesome.
Yeah, compared to the first movie, again, like the most we saw them work together was on their actual day job, was when they were doing their plumbing work, and they did a terrible job at that. So yeah, to see them actually in this trailer being like with each other at the castle and their interaction with Bowser, and then Bowser Jr. coming in, and then the desert sequence going back to Odyssey. Yeah, I'm happy to see that they're actually going to be working together, unless they're just pulling one up on us or something where it's like, hey, like we're just showing them together right now, and then maybe they get split off again. But I don't think that's going to be the case with this movie. I think they're really going to have them stick it together, and then Peach and Toad might be like the other, or like the side story of those two actually working together. But yeah, Mario and Luigi being here and working together, I think it's going to be a key element to this movie.
Absolutely. Nick, what's something you loved?
So right off the gate, like watching the trailer for the first time, I was thrilled to see that we're getting references outside of Galaxy. Even though I do enjoy Galaxy, it's not my favorite Mario game. Odyssey's still my number one. Like, I love going back to the Desert Kingdom from Odyssey, where they're on their motorcycles. I flipped out during that part because that was also in the original Mario Bros. Movie, the first one before this one, and they just walk past the Desert Kingdom, and they're not really there. So to see them on their bikes and having a little bit more action during that scene, I freaked out. Having Bowser Jr. in his Wonder form, because when I first saw it, I'm like, I thought it was almost like fan art, or maybe it was like a hypersonic or a supersonic kind of style thing. I was like, wait a minute, I think I know this from somewhere, but I don't know if this was made just for the movie. And then eventually clicked. I was like, no, this is from Mario Bros. Wonder, which was their most recent 2D outing. So to see multiple games being packed into here, not just Galaxy, really just brought excitement to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm happy they're not just focusing 100% on Galaxy.
I mean, that whole freaking desert scene is
Yeah.
amazing. I love it. It's so good. Like, it's so Mad Max, but also reminded me a bit of like the speeder bike sequence from like Return of the Jedi. It was just so cool seeing Mario and Luigi out there on motorcycles, like darting back and forth through this epic desert. It reminded me a bit of how I play Mario Kart World, and it's God, this looks so freaking good. And seeing Mario like with the goggles and everything, is
Yeah.
this like a Mario movie still? Like, what's going on here? It is just so freaking funny. And yeah, to your point too, I love that it's not just Mario Galaxy, although it's
Yep.
also very Mario Galaxy. But
It
I like
is.
that it's not just that too. I fully agree with you. And that's what the first movie did as well. It wasn't just Super Mario Brothers
Yeah.
or, any singular game. It was a combination of things. I think that's the best way to move forward, to like take elements from whatever they want that works for the story. And I guess building off of that, a kind of surprise appearance here were the Ninjas. I love Ninjas, and it was so cool seeing them because they're kind of a rarity in the Mario series, especially the mainline games, in particular the 3D ones. They've never appeared there. Like, they've kind of historically been more of a spin-off or 2D character, so it was fun seeing the Ninjas here. And they had this amazing detail when Peach is like beating on them in the casino place. Their buttons start flying off their suits, which I guess confirms that they are in fact suits, not just like weird button-looking things. Like, if they were Pokemon, that would be part of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I guess they are wearing suits. So what do they look like underneath, Nick?
I think we might actually get a glimpse of that in this movie because I remember maybe in the first movie, like we see Shy Guy without like its mask or something. So like I think we'll eventually maybe see like a ninja in the background or something, like putting on like the black little cape or little suit the suit they all wear. So yeah, I think we might see a naked ninja in this movie. But yeah, like going back to ninja, like I totally forgot like Ninja is like never really appears in too many games. And then the most recent thing I can think of is in Mario Party Jamboree. He's a playable character there. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't think Ninja was playable in anything else. I mean, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. He was probably playable somewhere else. But again, like getting a Ninja appearance here is very rare. And I was happy to see it.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like that a lot. So, real quick, thank you for the super chat. We'll address all the super chats at the end just so we don't interrupt the flow too much. But thank you so much, and feel free to send more. We will answer all of them at some point. So, okay, so that was your love, and I think I built off of that. Oh no,
Wait,
was not.
that? Oh wait, no, we did. We went to the desert and then we were talking about
Actually, no. Then go. Actually, go. Bring us another Nick. I want to hear another
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So one I loved to see is that Bowser is multifaceted. I love in the first movie how they went in full fledged with the Jack Black singing because I'm a fan of Jack Black and I think he's a good musical artist. But not only that, we see the opening scene of Bowser in the mini castle, but he's painting, and I'm like, okay, like this is kind of a throwback to, I guess, if you want to say Mario 64 when you jump into the paintings. But seeing how much art he has going on there, and they show off a lot. They show off like the skeleton Mario, which is based off of an outfit from Mario Odyssey. They show like the flowers from Yoshi's Island. He starts going through like a ton of paintings because I guess he has a bunch of downtime. So what is he going to do in this mini castle? He's going to become like an expert artist, which he ends up doing. And then we see the final painting that he shows off to both Mario and Luigi. And Mario says it looks like trash. Is the picture of Bowser with abs next to Peach, and she's like loving him. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny.
It's so good for a few different reasons. One, that whole poster, right, reminded me of that terrible Shrek 5 teaser.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they have a similar joke, but it didn't work there, whereas it works brilliantly here. It's like, oh, that's how you do it. Freaking. Also, by the way, I do want to stress how good this entire teaser is. That it made me immediately forget about that Toy Story 5 teaser as well. Like, that was such a lame teaser compared to this. So much better. But also, yeah, I loved how it seems like Bowser had some like maybe character development. Like, I don't know how much of it is sincere versus how much of it maybe is an act, but I love the fact that he gate checked himself. Like, oh, I'm getting angry, I gotta calm down here. And I love the relationship he had with Mario and Luigi, where him and Luigi are kind of bros somehow. Maybe not bros, but like Luigi's more accepting of him, where Mario just straight up isn't. And I never thought in my life I would hear Mario call something it's trash.
Yeah.
And hearing Mario say that, scratch something in my brain, which is amazing. I've seen some people complain, be like, that's not how Mario would act. And I'm like, Mario of the games doesn't act beyond sheer joy at all anyway, right? The Mario of the movie is more assertive. They already laid that out in the first one. And so it's only natural that, he's not going to be very nice to the guy who kidnapped his brother, tried to marry the princess against her will,
and tried to destroy Brooklyn, right?
Tried to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom and Brooklyn, right? Yeah, it's like, this dude's not a good guy. I mean, the fact he's still alive is a pretty graceful on Mario's part, right? So I love that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, the character development, I like how Bowser took up hobbies, as you said, and also it's not just a cute touch of how the how he's a painter now, but also kind of ties in, at least thematically, with Bowser Jr. and his paintbrush,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. So I want to, I'll just add to your thing that
Go for it.
one of the things that I loved is just that how it's a direct sequel. It seems like they're picking up where they
Yeah.
left off. Bowser is still imprisoned, and that gives a motive for we kind of speculated for Bowser Jr. to come and try and free him. So I thought that was great. Okay, I'm gonna use that as a launch off point for
Go
for
for it.
my love that we haven't fully addressed yet. I actually really like. Actually, let me start off. Let me change it. I have a confession, Nick. A confession.
What?
People, chat may hate me for
Uh-oh.
this. I don't like Bowser Jr. I've never liked Bowser Jr. I
No.
don't like him
Oh,
that much. He always seemed like it's just a bad Koopaling knockoff. Like we already had 7 of them. Why do we need one more? And he just felt like the lamest of the bunch. I like Bowser Jr. in the Mario movie.
oh
I know
my
it's a little
God.
divisive. Some people don't like his voice. I'm like, no, I actually like his voice now. Like he always sounded like too much of he sounds like a baby in the games, right? Like too much like a 3-year-old or
Especially in
something.
Sunshine, he sounds like he whines a little too much in Sunshine for
Yeah.
me. But that's again his first appearance, so it's like okay, they're kind of working off of Bowser Jr.
So
from here.
I think aging him up, at least that's how it sounds like. At least maturity wise, I think is a right idea. They made him seem more teenage-ish. And I think
Yeah,
that's a right call here. Like he's not a total moron who's gonna mistake Peach for his mom. Hopefully, he's old enough that he seems to be able to do things without needing his dad around. And I think he's old enough to have a clear motive for trying to rescue his dad.
yeah,
Now, of course, we're gonna have a lot of questions about this later on throughout the video. But still, I really like that so far. So even though we haven't seen a ton of Bowser Jr. yet, I like the characterization of him. I like the voice, actually. It did throw me off initially just because we're so used to Bowser Jr. But after listening to that trailer a bunch now, I actually like it a lot. So I'm actually... And his look. I think his overall look is really cool. I mean, I think they actually made Bowser Jr. kind of cool. And
yeah,
I love how they married, his typical look with the Wonder look. And because with having it tied into the paintbrush as well, really smart. And I always thought the paintbrush is kind of like a goofy weapon, like a goofy item. But I loved how they used it here, almost giving it like a T-1000 like quality where he can turn it into whatever he wants. He made a mace out of the thing. Like that's a brutal weapon. Like I love that. Like that is so freaking cool. So hats off to Illumination. They're cooking here with Bowser Jr. All right.
yeah. And that was on my list, and I'm happy that you kind of had like a change of heart here because Bowser Jr. I go over the Koopalings. Like I'm a huge Bowser Jr. fan. Like he's my go-to for the Mario characters in Smash Bros. But yeah, just seeing him here and having that transformation to Wonder Bowser Jr., if you want to call it that, instead of Shadow Mario. I was like, oh my God, I'm so much on board with this. Because, again,
Right.
it wouldn't have made sense if he showed up and he transformed into Shadow Mario right there, right? Because I don't think he's met the Mario Bros yet up until this point. So having, like, the Shadow Mario would kind of be odd, even though I don't think he met Mario right away in Sunshine, having the Shadow Mario. But, again, at that point, I think Bowser at least knew who Mario was, so he's able to kind of recreate and do the battle or the Shadow Mario there. But yeah, seeing Bowser Jr., seeing his design in this movie again, like I know people are kind of like getting a little bit like hooked on or enthralled onto like his eyes that they don't look exactly like how they do in the games because they're more of like an orange or like a red tint to them, like almost like he's kind of like I don't want to say high, but maybe he's got like pink eye or something, or maybe he's got like a lack of sleep or something. But yeah, his overall design here I think is fantastic, along with his voice. I think the more I watched the trailers, the more I kind of grew accustomed to his new voice, and not to mention it was just so random. I saw a bunch of comments and people noticing this. I thought I noticed it the first time when I watched the trailer, but they play like the Prowler music from Spider-Man, the Miles Morales one, Into the Spider-Verse. And when they played that, I was like, wait, why are they playing this? It's so random of a sound. I like the sound because when I hear it in Spider-Man, like, oh no, like the Prowler's coming, like everyone hide, this guy's gonna like kill everyone. But hearing it in this for Bowser Jr., I'm like, oh my God, it makes him more of a threat.
Yeah, no, I think that was the whole thing with them. I think they really just kind of like made him seem more threatening now. Like he
Yeah.
actually does seem like someone you wouldn't want to have a casual encounter with, right? Whereas Bowser Jr. from the games, obviously he's still dangerous, but like he's also cute at the same time. So it doesn't feel that dangerous. So I think they did a good job bridging it. Like he's still. He's still endearing looking. Like I don't think
Yeah.
he's not ugly like Bowser is. Well, Bowser has a great design too. You know what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job like walking a tightrope here, and I think they pull it off. So yeah, I'm excited to see Bowser Jr. now. Like before, I wouldn't have wanted to see Bowser Jr. And like it's like, all right, Illumination, you're cooking here. I want to see what happens next. So Yeah, big fan of that. Let's see. Uh, something else I loved is what Lo was seen so far of like space. Like it seems like they're doing it justice so
Yeah.
far. Seeing whether it's a skyline, the Star Festival, which looks beautiful, or when Peach and Toad are flying through space, like it all looks gorgeous. Going past little planetoids, like it's so again like the first movie, it is shockingly accurate to the games. It still blows my mind. There are some people out there who complain about not being close enough to the games. Are like, are you freaking kidding me? This is the closest movie we've had to a game ever, and this one seems to possibly even be more so. Like
Yeah.
that's Mario Galaxy. That is straight up Galaxy on the big screen, and the fact that they really just captured that look and feel once again, and just how beautiful everything is overall, just to drive that point home, really is just really impressive. Like every moment, every frame, like could be a painting in this trailer so far.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then I know this we're talking about the things that we love, but I don't think they really like I guess touched up on it during the trailer, which we're gonna have to wait for the full movie. But they do into space at one point, Peach and Toad, but they never show them like I guess or explain how they're breathing because I know that was like your big concern because it's like oh they just go into space and wait a minute are they gonna be taking like a power up? Are they gonna be like with a Luma that's gonna help them breathe in space? But again, we're gonna have to wait until the full movie to kind of I guess see how or like, see what their explanation is for breathing in space.
Yeah, I still don't know because we do see Peach and Toad like drop right into or jump into the launch star and take off into space, and yeah, they have nothing helping them out. And I do like how Toad's like freaking out initially, but then he gets over. He's like, "Oh, this is actually pretty cool," you know. So I do wonder there'll be some kind of explanation, like, "Hey, don't worry about it" or whatever. You know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just another question that I have.
Yeah.
Nick, anything else that you loved about the movie?
Yeah, for the trailer,
The
I have
trailer,
one more
yeah.
thing on our list. Is the Rosalina's interaction with the Lumas. I love when she's reading the storybook to them, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about like this princess," and they're like, "No, tell us about the plumbers again. Tell us about the plumbers," because this seems like it could be the beginning of the movie, and they maybe it goes into the adventures of Mario and Luigi right away. Because just seeing the interactions with Rosalina and the Lumas and how like much they're like almost like she's like their caretaker there or like they're her children. I had a smile on my face once I saw that scene.
It was heartwarming. It was
Yeah.
adorable, extremely cute, and it also makes me wonder how that's going to fully tie into, which we'll again have questions about very soon. But I think we're getting pretty close to that section. So, but yeah, I love like all the little touches there too, like the baby one with the binky, and then there's another one that playing on the analysis like falling asleep on the couch. You know, the Lumas are just adorable, and
Yeah.
this I just love that they captured they somehow made was already cute character even cuter in the movie than the games, which is impressive. So, Nick, any other points you want to highlight before we move on?
I think we covered most of them. Bowser Jr., seeing Mario and Luigi together, Bowser being multifaceted. He's a painter and an artist, like a musical artist. Seeing the references outside of Galaxy, even though I do enjoy Galaxy, I'm just so happy they're focusing on other Mario games like Wonder and Odyssey again, and then just Rosalina's interactions with the Lumas again. That is just so cheerful and heartwarming to see. Again, yeah, like this whole trailer just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, including we haven't really touched on the voice cast fully yet. We did Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
to an extent, but how are you feeling about Rosalina too?
I'm totally fine with it. Like I find it so fitting when once she started talking and I guess in the library with the Lumas, I was like, oh yeah, this is fitting. Like I didn't recognize that was Brie Larson right away, but
I
once
didn't
they said
either.
that, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Again, like I think that's a good thing though. Like if you see the character and they start talking, it's just like, okay, this makes sense. Whoever is the actor at this point playing this character, and then you see the voice actor, like, okay, now I can put the connections together, and I'm happy for them. So
Yeah, yeah. Neither voice really stood out to me. I would say. I mean, I guess maybe Rosalina is just a little higher pitched sounding than I may have expected based on the games. But I think she tends to have a deeper voice there. But other than that, like it totally works fine, and I'm sure I'll get
yeah.
used to it once I'm there. And again, Bowser Jr. like again threw me off just a little bit initially, but I've grown to really like it. I think so far, especially if we assume that the Mega Leg character is also Bowser Jr. And also I like even the how his voice changes too a little bit when he's
Yeah.
in his paintbrush mode or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really good stuff. So I'm just looking at the chat real quick to see if anyone pointed or if anyone has anything they love about the movie. And also, chat, let us know how we're sounding, by the way. Are we sounding okay so far? I forgot to ask early on. Just let us know if that sounds good. Um, but yeah, I'm not actually seeing a whole lot of specific points about I think everyone is like is just very happy with what they've seen. Like the reaction, I don't know, Nick, has everything you've seen so far been positive about the movie mostly, or
I guess I'm not on social media too much, so
you're
it's
smarter
really
than
just
I
kind of
am?
like I know that's the thing. Like I don't really have the only thing I think I have is like Facebook, but I'm not like on Twitter or Instagram or anything. But I think for the most part, like my friends and I in our Discords, like we're pretty happy for what we saw. So the only thing is like I was hoping that again this was just a personal pick that Bowser Jr. was going to be Adam. I want to say Devine from Workaholics, because there is an episode where him and his father comes in, and his father is played by Jack Black. So that's why I was like, oh, I hope they bring him on because he looks a lot like Jack Black. He tries to sing in the show, and he's not a good singer. So I was hoping that they would be have like some kind of chemistry like that with these two characters. But again, like I don't really know the actor of who's playing Bowser Jr. in this movie all too well, but I
I
think
never
it
heard of
sounds
him.
pretty good.
Yeah, I never heard of
Yeah,
him.
me neither. So like I don't know like what the musical talent is going to be there, or if
Which
Bowser's even going to have another song with anyone else, or if it's just going to be him.
Yeah, I don't know if we're both. Maybe we just both live in caves, you know. But the fact that neither of us know the actor is, I think, kind of a cool sign. Like that they didn't exclusively go for big names only. Like maybe they
Yeah.
were really focused on the specific sound for this character. I think that's actually pretty cool. So again, maybe I'm off base. Maybe he's actually a huge actor, and I just have no idea.
Yeah, we
So.
could be completely off. Yeah.
Exactly. Real quick, I actually think this might be a good time to address super chats before we move into the
Go
next
for it.
section. So the super chats we got so far, and we'll do this for each section. So if you send more super chats, we'll address them in that section later on or at the end of it. DB earlier said chances of a wave race movie 0, 2 zeros, 0% chance of it ever happening. I wish it would.
Yeah,
It'd be
that super
amazing.
chat. I'm like, there's got to be movies based off of just people riding jet skis, right? Like, there has to be. I know, like, there's jet skis in movies, but, like, is there a movie that's solely based off of
What was
just
that?
jet
Wasn't
ski
there a Keanu
racing?
Reeves movie about that? Like, was it Daybreak or something or something? He's a surfer. Maybe not jet skis. He was a surfer, I think.
But you probably see jet skis in the background, or they're probably in there because they're on the water with surfboards.
Yeah, probably. The other super chat we got so far was Ice Luigi asks or says, "We still don't know if DK will be in the sequel." At this point, I don't think he will be. I don't think he's going to be here. I think they would have announced him with the returning cast earlier on if he were to be. But do you think so,
Yeah,
Nick?
I know. I definitely agree with you because the first time they announced the returning cast, this trailer was meant to announce the two brand new actors and characters coming in. Again, like at this point, I think we're sitting at seven of the main casts for the movie, so I don't think they want to kind of muddle it with any more other characters, and it just gives more proof that hey, there's going to be a DK movie probably like 2 or 3 years from now. So again, I think they want to save DK for that. They're going to make a big deal out of who's going to be playing like Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong, and if Chunky Kong's back, if Chunky's alive or something, or Lanky Kong. So I think they're going to save all those characters for that movie.
Right. So a few people in the chat mentioned actually that not only did the voice of Bowser Jr. direct Uncut Gems, which is if you want to be stressed, Uncut Gems will do it. Jesus. But apparently it was also an Oppenheimer, in addition to also being the villain in Happy Gilmore 2. So I actually have
Oh,
seen him in action. I did see Happy Gilmore 2. So yeah, all right. I guess I am more familiar with him than I thought.
yeah.
So still, I don't think a household name exactly, but again, maybe I'm off base there. So. Let's see here. Soggy Dude says the Clipper Bowser Jr. is inside of some machine. I believe he's inside some Mecha Bowser. Keep in mind, Mecha Bowser is in Mario Sunshine and Galaxy. So he's
Yeah.
referring to the scene after the trailer in which we see Bowser Jr. talking to the camera. We can see a bunch of like tubes behind him. He's got a control panel in front of him.
Yeah.
So my take was that was perhaps inside Mega Leg, but it's impossible to tell for sure. He could be inside some other kind of contraption. So you might be right.
It could be his bedroom
Yeah,
for all we know.
could be
He
exactly.
just sleeps there.
I was going to say something else about Bowser Jr. What was it going to be? Oh, Nick, how do you feel about the fact that this is following the retcon of Bowser's Fury, where the paintbrush is no longer made by EGAD, unlike in Mario Sunshine, where it was implied that it was?
I just have to say, I think Nintendo really dislikes EGAD for some reason. Like, he's a character that you associate with Luigi's Mansion 100%. When you think Luigi's Mansion, outside of Luigi, like, that's who I think of right away. So for him not to be, like, in any spin-offs, for them to kind of retcon that and not have it on the paintbrush, I'm like, okay, I'm so confused by that. But then again, like, I don't know if Flood has appeared. I mean, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Has Flood appeared in anything outside of Smash Bros. And Mario Sunshine?
I don't think
And
so.
again, like on there, like, do we see EGAD's logo on there anywhere?
Um, I don't
Or maybe
know.
in Sunshine, like Flood will just say like, "Oh, like I was produced by like so and so." I feel like there is a small reference, but yeah, going back to your point of having the
Oh yeah,
paintbrush and
I'm
not
sorry.
having egads.
Well, in Mario
Go ahead.
Sunshine, the boxes at least that you change the handles on, or the nozzles or whatever, those have EGAT's head
No,
on
yeah,
it.
those have egads.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so just from their association, we're just assuming that egad also made that. But yeah, having the paintbrush not have it, it's like I'm okay with it because I mean I still love the paintbrush, but again, like Nintendo, like why don't you? What's your hatred towards egad? Why isn't he in Mario Kart? Why isn't he in like Mario Party or any other spin-off? It just I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It is weird. So, oh, here we go. JCF says, "What if EGAT built the brush and Mega Leg?" Yeah, that would be quite the change of events. I don't think EGAT has a chance of appearing here because it runs back into the issue now of how do you explain him being a human, right? Now, I guess Rosalind's also a human. We don't have that origin for her yet, so we'll have to wait and see if the movie addresses her backstory here. It'll be interesting to find out. So, all right, next. I guess it sounds like we're kind of getting into questions because I
Yeah,
have questions about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Are you ready to dive in deep with me on these?
yeah. Let's go for it.
I
You
think
go
you got some
first.
too, right? So,
I have a list. I have a list.
although I have to start with one that wasn't in the trailer at all. Where the heck is Yoshi? We know he's
Yeah.
here because he was in the freaking. He's been in 2 leaks now. No sign of him in the trailer, and of course he was teased at the end of the first Mario movie. Where's Yoshi? And how does he fit in?
Yeah, that was so shocking that we didn't see Yoshi here. But then again, like maybe Yoshi doesn't have like a prominent voice actor or like an actor to fill his role. Like obviously Yoshi's going to talk, Yoshi's going to make sounds, but not having Yoshi here kind of makes me feel like Yoshi is maybe a trailer 2 or a trailer 3 reveal. Maybe even at the Game Awards they say like, "Hey, here's a character that everyone's been waiting for," and they show Yoshi. But again, like not having Yoshi here and not explaining anything with Brooklyn, or again, we don't even see Brooklyn here, and that's where Yoshi ends up in the first movie in the credits. Yoshi's in the sewers in Brooklyn. So again, they're gonna have to tie that in somehow, unless they kind of just skip that altogether and just, hey, there's a Yoshi egg inside the castle or something. Yeah, but not seeing Yoshi here was kind of odd.
Oh man, I didn't even consider the fact that they could just retcon the post credits tease
Yeah,
because the post credits tease was kind of a kind of indulgent reference to Godzilla 1998, where the trailer for that is, which no one even remembers, by the way. It was the exact same thing as that, where you see a Godzilla egg. So it could be that they just completely retcon it, and yeah, Yoshi's never in New York at all. Because right now, my assumption is that the scenes, I mean, it's not even an assumption, it's a safe bet that the Star Comet, the Star Festival, is like near the very beginning of
the
the movie,
start.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like it has to be basically the start of the movie, minus maybe the Rosalina library sequence, which could be a prologue to everything, like with her telling the backstory, but we'll have questions about that too. Which in that case leaves a massive gap with Yoshi. Like, how do you explain the Yoshi egg unless you just retcon it and don't worry about it and they come across them on your adventure? That would simplify things so much from a storytelling perspective. But I do like the idea. I mean, I guess there actually could be more to it. They could have also addressed it in the gap between it. Like maybe they already took care of it, or maybe we'll get a montage of Yoshi running around New York and they have to, try and contain him. That could be fun too. But in any case, I don't fully know what the idea is there. But even in that case, where is Yoshi now? Why isn't he at the
yeah.
castle from what we've seen? Maybe he is there. Maybe who knows? But yeah, it
My
does make you wonder.
I was gonna say my thought with that ending cutscene or that teaser trailer or whatever they call it, the ending credit scene, was maybe they just put it in the sewers for a safe bet because they didn't know where the next movie was going at that point, or maybe they just put that together like that scene at last or like a last minute. They're like, hey, we need to tease something for the next movie, but we don't want to tease like any of the bigger characters like Bowser Jr. or Rosalina because we still have no idea where the movie's taking us yet or what direction we're going in. So it's like maybe we'll just put Yoshi here and call it a day. But if they want to have Yoshi appear anywhere, maybe he's sitting at the top of the castle during the festival, right? Like maybe it's a Mario 64 reference where
That'd be
you see
amazing.
him at the very top and it's like, oh, there's Yoshi. That makes sense why he's there. But again, like he should have been in Brooklyn and they just brought him here right away. So
Norwegian does bring up a good point though, and the Norwegian Duck Club says that the old spike like indicates that Yoshi will be in Brooklyn. I did forget about that. The
oh
whole
yeah, wait.
scent is a Brooklyn scent, and now the lick's been completely vindicated. Like that lick ended up being 100% accurate as
Yeah.
far as we know. So yeah, actually that does seem like he's still in Brooklyn. So I don't. It's so interesting how many gaps there are still in our understanding of what this movie actually is, right? And yeah, well, I guess let's go into your next question you have, Nick.
Yeah, so I this might be my biggest question. That's why I put it at the top of the list. But where the hell is Bowser Jr. from? Again,
Yes.
like we have no idea. Bowser is stuck in mini form at the castle. Obviously, Bowser, I guess, had his child years ago because Bowser Jr. seems a little bit older than he normally seems based off his voice. But yeah, where did Bowser Jr. come from? My one theory is that showing Bowser painting all these pictures at the beginning, maybe Bowser created Bowser Jr. through one of his paintings. Like maybe that's how it came to be, and that's why they're going to be focusing heavily on paintbrush and artist work for this movie, like art pieces, and that's why Bowser Jr. has the paintbrush, and that would help explain like where Bowser Jr. came from. They can ignore Bowser's wife or Bowser's ex-wife or any of that stuff like we teased before. But again, like where the hell did Bowser Jr. come
See,
from?
that's actually what I thought they were leading up to in the trailer. When he was painting, I'm like, oh god, this is how he makes
Yeah,
Bowser Jr.
that's what I thought too.
To be fully honest with you, Nick, I don't think I think he might be onto something, and I kind of hate that idea. I feel like it's too clean of an out for Nintendo. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't. First off, I already hated the stupid stork idea back in the games. You know, and I think this is stork adjacent. It's like it's so stupid, like that. I don't want it to be the case. Like if Bowser Jr. is just spawned into existence through magic, I kind of despise that, and I really hope that's not the route they go. But you know, they're giving us no clue otherwise of what it could be, you know, and it would kind of tie into why Bowser Jr. embraces his magic brush as his own thing anyway. But I kind of hope that's not the route they go with it, you know.
What if it's a combination of like all three? Like we see the stork come in, the stork has like the package for the babies, but then drops it, but it's actually a painting of Bowser Jr. And then Kamek comes up and then takes the painting and does magic on it, and then Bowser Jr.
This
appears.
is getting so much more convoluted than saying Bowser banged someone back in the day, you know? Like, that's so much simpler. You know, I mean, they don't even really need to get into it too deeply, right? But my whole thing is I want them to explain why Bowser, you know, what Bowser teased in the first movie during the final fight, like, you know, where he hinted at having, like, you know, something that made him the way he is in the past. Like, now you understand my pain or something, right? And I think Bowser Jr. could be what ties into that. So I'm really hoping it's something meaningful and not something dumb. But, you know, regardless of the case, like, you know, unless a trailer is just straight up lied to us, I mean, actually, you know, well, now I'm thinking about it, like, from my takeaway, the trailer, like, the trailer seemed to be implying that Bowser Jr. likely existed before any scenes we had seen in the trailer. But now I'm wondering, maybe Bowser Jr. does make him, or Bowser does make him as he's you know, kidnapped. Though I understand where he gets a magic brush from. You know, that's a whole nother issue if that's the case. But yeah, regardless, you know, where is Bowser Jr.? Yeah, where's he from? You know, where's he been? Why was he in the first movie? And you know, I want to find out more about his motive and backstory. So
Since Bowser was the only one that was kept captive, at least that we can tell, I think the caretaker between that time is probably going to be Kamek. Like Kamek is going to be taking care of Bowser Jr. and then maybe Bowser Jr. runs away from Kamek and says, "Hey, we got to go get Bowser. Bowser's at Peach's castle," and that's where I guess it ties in because we know Kamek's going to be here for this movie, but we haven't seen Kamek yet in the trailers.
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We haven't. So, but we do. Yeah, but you mentioned, sorry, the voice actor is back, right? So we do know that.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. Yeah, we do know that. So again, we haven't seen Kamek in the trailer, but Kamek's going to be in the final movie.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, lots of questions, including my next one,
Go for it.
which is I'm wondering, kind of related to Bowser Jr. What's going on with Peach's castle exactly? Now, when I first watched the trailer, it seemed to offer no sign of what happened in the games, of Peach's castle being lifted into the sky. And my initial take in the analysis, which you can actually watch, I pieced that thing together piecemeal, like as I was going through it, I was adding theories as I was going. So it's a little jumbly, but my initial take was that maybe Bowser Jr. is taking the Star Festival as an opportunity to rescue Bowser because everyone's distracted by the Star Festival. But when I went back and looked at the scene, as you will see in my analysis, I'm like, well, there's actually some kind of space stuff happening back there. And I also noticed it looked like there's like almost like a force field going through it or like a lighting
Yeah.
effect. And my takeaway is maybe it's actually being lifted into the sky because you can also see like the background kind of scrolling down as if the castle is being lifted up into the air, which could be exactly what's happening. Maybe the castle is lifted into the sky, which would explain why Peach and Toad have to take the launch star to get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
There's no way else to get out of Peach's castle or do anything without taking the launch star. I was curious if you had a take on this.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I looked behind because again, there's like an aura around it. I thought it was a force field right away, and that Bowser Jr. came because we see the Koopa Clown car off to the side there, and I was like, oh, he has enough energy to, I guess, seclude the castle just to himself. and then maybe he saw like a bunch of like toads like running towards it, like trying to storm into the castle, but they got blocked off. But I can see it going either way. I can see him just like blocking it off from all the toads, even though I can't see the toads doing much damage to Bowser or Bowser Jr.
We're
Like not
helpless
much
in
of
the
a
first
threat.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, they're helpless in the first place. But maybe Bowser Jr. has never seen them before, so he's like, "Oh, these guys are gonna be a threat. I gotta block them off." But yeah, the other theory that you have of them going straight into space with it, I think that's probably gonna be like our starting point of the movie, or not starting point, our gateway to going into space. So yeah, I can see that happening.
King Yote, and kind of related to the whole Bowser Jr. thing we're just talking about. King Yote says, "I don't think Bowser could have made him, as he was small and in prison, because it would make no sense for him to fight the bros on the outside if he made him himself." I mean, that's a good point. It'd be a little
Yeah.
weird if he makes Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr. takes off somewhere, then comes back. But maybe he draws Bowser Jr. as a baby for some reason, and he has to go grow up elsewhere, then comes back. It was unnecessarily convoluted once again. So, but then, so getting back to the whole castle thing, right? But then it raises the question of, how does a launch star get there? And I do talk about this in my analysis, where, well, if you remember in the games, launch stars are Lumas transform into them, meaning a Luma probably came to visit them.
Yeah.
Maybe it was sent by Rosalina, or my other theory is maybe Luma Lee from the first movie turns into that launch star. He may be hanging around at the castle, because we don't really see what he who knows what he's up to after he gets rescued out of the prison in the first one, right? The little jail cell thing he was in. So maybe he hangs out at the castle now and realizes, hey, this is my chance to finally kill myself and help out Princess Peach. I can transform and
I was
get
just
the
saying
launch
that
star.
because that Luma character had a decent amount of voice lines in the first movie. So like if that's how the character goes off in the next one, like God bless you, Luma, I
Right.
guess. But at the same time, it's like, are they really going to do that for the Lumas in the movie compared to the games, where it's just like, hey, I transform into a launch star. That's it. That's the rest of my life. Now I'm just going to be here, stuck here, just transporting people to other planets.
Yeah, that always seemed like a dark side to the Mario Galaxy games. Like, are you truly happy with what you've done? Like, you helped out Mario once, and then you're stuck as a launch star the rest of the time. There's nothing more you can do. That kind of sucks. So I do wonder if they'll have it where they maybe aren't stuck in transformations this time. Maybe they can, like, rematerialize if they want to back into Luma form or something, or who knows what. I saw some other, I think you mentioned before that maybe the Luma from the first trailer we saw is the one that is like Mario's partner, or a partner in this one. Maybe that's the one that comes out to visit Princess Peach and Toad at the castle and transforms, perhaps. So we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that was your last one, right?
I think so. I can't remember. Maybe it was yours.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have one. I have one
Go for
ready
it.
to go. Are we going to see more, I guess, Mario Wonder references here? I guess more so specifically Mario Wonder power-ups here. Like, are we going to see Elephant Mario in this movie at any point? Again, like we saw a handful of power-ups in the last movie. We saw the Tanuki suit, the Cat Mario suit, obviously just the normal mushroom, not the one-up mushroom, just the. Why can't I think of the name of the actual mushroom? It's just called mushroom, right?
The Super Mushroom.
The super mushroom. Yeah, we saw the super mushroom. But yeah, are we going to see anything like the elephant Mario or
I
the elephant
don't,
power up
Nick.
here?
I have another confession. I hate Elephant Mario. I hate him because Mario wears suits. He doesn't transform into the little animal, or he shouldn't. He wears suits. He
Yeah,
wears
that
the
is
suit
true.
of the animal. So I don't want to see Elephant Mario here. It would be too freaking weird. And Sunset actually, I think, agrees with me. They say, "I sure hope not." LOL. Yes, yeah, I think they agree with me. So,
So I guess with that, do you think we'll see power-ups not used for certain characters that we'll see here for the first time? Obviously, we did see this in the first Mario movie with Donkey Kong turning into Fire Donkey Kong. We've never seen that before. Are we going to see like Toad transform into, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a power-up he's never used before, or maybe Bowser Jr. transform into like Cat Bowser Jr. I don't think we've seen that because Bowser Jr. was technically not in 3D World, but he was in Bowser's Fury. Yeah, are we going to see anything like that, like just brand new power-ups for characters that we haven't seen before?
like, never seen in the games. Period.
No, no, but like again, so go back to my example, Donkey Kong having
Oh,
the fire
Donkey. Yeah,
flower, but
got
we've
it.
never seen that
I
before.
hope so. Like, I think one of the fun things of the Mario movie was seeing things and we hadn't seen before. Like whether it's story beats, or giving characters like different personality traits, or
Yeah.
seeing power ups intermixed in the way we hadn't before. Like, it'd be awesome to see I guess we've seen Toads use power-ups, of course, but like it'd be fun to see Bowser use power-ups. That's something we haven't really seen outside of I guess you could say 3D Land, and also back in the Super Show. My favorite episode, actually, of the Mario 3 cartoon was where Bowser goes to the real world, and then he's using all kinds of power-ups. Like, in the first movie, he has a superstar, but never uses it. But I would love to see Bowser, like, fly around as Tanuki Mario, or Tanuki Bowser, right? Or whatever else, or Fire Bowser. Can you imagine hit Fire Bowser? Like, he already spits fire. What else?
Yeah. Well, he's going to shoot fire like out of his hands on top of shooting it out of his mouth.
That'd be brutal, right? So yeah, I would love to see like more interplay with things like that. Yeah, that'd be great. So
yeah, so I guess that's going to do it for mine. What do you got next?
I want to get back to real quick Peach's Castle because I forgot one thing
it.
about it. Where it's going into the sky. Here's the thing, Nick. Here's my question. I'll tie into a larger question. Yeah. Because one of the things that they teased in the direct that I don't think they fulfilled is that they were going to have like deep cut characters. There were no deep cut characters here. Ninja's not that deep of a cut. So I think they're holding out on us, Nick. And I think they truly want to do deep cut. If they're truly following Mario Galaxy the game, then we know what might be picking up Peach's Castle being a UFO. And you know what pilots UFOs? Frickin' Tatanga from Mario Land 2. Mario Land 1 and 2, accurately. So that would be kind of amazing. And they brought back Tatanga, like rework him, of course. I don't think they use the exact same design they had before. And that could be one hell of a throwback. That would be a deep cut character, so...
Yeah, I played Mario Land so much as a kid. I remember looking at the cartridge all the time and seeing the UFO in the cartridge. And then going back between that and Mario 64. And I always thought to myself, I'm like, why is there a UFO in Mario? This just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, going back to your thing with deep cut characters, that would be a very, very, very deep cut character if they added that. And again, they kind of tease that in the direct. And I don't think Rosalina counts as a deep cut character or Bowser Jr. So they're definitely saving a deep cut character, which we have no idea who it is for the movie.
Right. Yeah, I think so. So it's gonna be interesting to see who else, if that is it. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't bet on Tatanga, but if you're teasing deep cuts, and I will say, I think Spike is a deep cut. Like that was a deep cut character.
100%.
So if they wanted something equivalent to that, Tatanga would be it, and it'd be a small role too. The UFO barely even appears in the first game, even though it had a major reason for it exist. It's such an easy thing to forget about. So, the question mark man says not Tatanga, but what if it was the Shrooms from I think was that Bowser's Inside Story?
I think I was going to say Partners in Time.
Oh, maybe Partners in Time. Yeah, one of those Mario and Luigi games. I don't see them specifically referencing the Mario and Luigi games or any of the spin-off games.
No, really. I don't think so either.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think like what other deep cut characters in the level of Spike they could actually do. I don't know how bizarre or how deep cut you actually want to get, but like Spike, I thought was awesome as a deep cut character for the first movie.
Yeah, I agree. So, once again, thank you for the super chat. We'll answer it at the end of the segment. So thank you so much. I'm trying to think any other deep cut characters that there could be. Yeah, maybe more will come to us as we go through this. So.
Yeah. I mean, would Egad count as a deep cut character? I don't. Maybe at this point, I'm like, it's debatable.
Yeah, I think he's pretty well known. I feel like so. It was Partners in Time, people were saying. So
okay.
Crossover Dreamer says the X-Nauts. That'd be a pretty deep cut too. Although Thousand Year Door just came out, but again, I guess. So here's my next question, Nick. What's the deal with Rosalina? Like everything we've seen so far, it feels remarkably accurate to the game. She is super strong. She has like her magic, her wand. She can summon sling stars. She can chop off the legs of Mega Leg. She can fly around at fast speeds. What can't she do? And it makes me wonder, what is her backstory here? Like I said before, one of my concerns was how are they going to explain Rosalina? Because she's, kind of a goddess in the games. Even if she isn't strictly, what is she? And we have no more answers to that question right now. We don't know what her story is, how they're going to explain anything. So yeah, what is her deal,
I think they're going to explain it fairly early on. Like when she's in the room, I was going to say with all the children, with all the Lumas, and she's reading the storybooks. I think, again, that's a good time to have flashback sequences. And even the one scene that they showed her, chopping off the legs of the mech or whatever, I think that might be like a flashback scene because again she'll be super powerful at that point, and I think maybe they're gonna have to drain her energy at some point in this movie because again she'll be able to take out any character in this universe right now. Like Bowser's not a threat, right? Mario, obviously she's not going against Mario, but Bowser and Bowser Jr. going against Rosalina, it's a no shot. It's an easy win for Rosalina.
They have to find some way to make Rosalina weaker. I agree. Like if the wand is the source of her power, then taking away the wand. Although she summons the wand, so she could she just summon more wands then,
Yeah.
Because my honestly my I do have this. Oh, maybe this is a concern. Actually, I'll save the concern for a little bit later.
Okay.
Maybe I'll save that concern for later. But yeah, I do hope that they explain that. And actually, that's a good point because the one of the scenes, obviously the main scene of the trailer is Bowser, Mega Leg, presumably controlled by Bowser Jr., attacking Rosalina. And Rosalina just straight up wins, like it's not even a
Yeah.
battle, which kind of like mitigates the point of the scene, seemingly. Like, okay, did anything really just happen? So I feel like it's a fake out. I think they're faking us out, Nick. I think something else
Oh.
happens after that. Like, Bowser Jr. is not out of the picture yet. He's not done. He's got a secret weapon up his sleeve that's going to nullify Rosalina's power. And I hope that
Yeah,
is the case.
she does just take off the legs, and whoever's piloting this mech is obviously going to be in the cockpit in the front, and she doesn't really even touch that. So whoever it is could jump out of it. I'm thinking like Dragon Ball style, like a Kid Gohan, and just hit who I think it was like Vegeta in the head. He did like a headbutt attack on him. But yeah, just jump out and then just capture Rosalina from there, because Rosalina seems pretty confident when the thing blows up behind her. So she could get, I guess, caught off guard and be like, oh wait, I never finally destroyed this thing I was like trying to, I guess, kill, and it's still alive and it's still going after me.
Exactly. Crown Lust King comments on Rosalina saying, I think she'll be Peach's sister. That's something else we need an answer to.
Oh,
Does she have any relationship to the cast? I've said ad nauseum that in the first movie, Princess Peach teased having some kind of like origin story involving planets elsewhere, and that it seemed like maybe Rosalina's involved with that. So I've speculated maybe Rosalina's her mom. I've seen other speculation, including in the chat right now, as I just read, maybe her sister. What do you think about this, Nick? Are we
again,
like,
like when
yeah,
when we talked about it before, I think the key theme for this movie is going to be about family, right? Like Bowser Jr. is obviously Bowser's son, and he's going to kidnap, or he's going to like save him from being kidnapped from Mario and Luigi. And then I think that's the opposite side of it. I think it's going to be like Peach and Toad going after Rosalina or finding Rosalina, because Peach wants to learn more about her family. Because
right?
even with the Star Festival, she could be talking to Mario, Peach, Luigi, and she'd be like, "Oh, we celebrate this event because this is when I was brought to this world or this planet." So that could be her tie to the galaxies. And like you said, she even teased that in the first movie.
Yeah, and well, also this ties into the question I had: how are they going to kind of justify the Star Festival, right? Like the first game can get can easily get
Yeah.
into it. You don't need to really explain it, but like, what is the significance of it in the movies version, right? Princess Peach is what, 20 maybe, a little older. Like she hasn't been around all that long, and she,
Yeah.
so and she was the one that seemingly like helped build this into a true kingdom. So did the toad like how much did the toads really care about this before? And also like how was Rosalina involved in every one of these star festivals, or the comet that comes by every 100 years or not? Like, is she, how old is Rosalina again? Like, how's this all fit together? Like, they need to better explain everything, I think, in the movie context. So
Yeah, and that's the thing that I guess I'll save it for my concerns later. But I
yeah.
guess just a tiny concern here now is that they're going to rush through that relatively quickly and just get right into the action for the movie. Because again, the first movie kind of goes at breakneck speed, like right away. Like we go through so many different parts. Where like in Brooklyn, here's Bowser now, here's the Mushroom Kingdom. Like it's so quick within the first 15-20 minutes.
Natsu says, wait, hold on. Future daughter. Are you saying Peach is Rosalina's future
Oh,
daughter? Or, wait, or I have heard speculation that Peach would be the mother to Rosalina. Through
I
like
never heard that one
through
yet.
crazy time shenanigans. Like if the universe has already been reset, then that could be something that happened. Maybe in a prior version, Peach is Rosalina's mom, because in the Mario Galaxy book, the artwork, the in the game, the storybook, you can see that Rosalina's mom sure looks an awful lot like Peach, which is a little strange, right? But then that doesn't answer the question of the first movie: where did Peach come from? Who's Peach's mom, right?
It's still who's who. We're still like
Peach is
going
her own
around in a
mom. That's how it happened. She gave
Yeah,
birth
it's
to
like
herself somehow.
I was gonna say, like, if that was a theory, if Peach was Rosalina's mom, does that mean Mario was Rosalina's dad? Is that how this works? Like, I don't know. There's so many questions we
It would
have.
be hilarious if the Mario freaking movie 2 has the most complex backstory, time travel shenanigans of all time, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be, what is it? Charlie Day from Always Sunny on the board, connecting all the dots to each other.
Exactly.
Like, no, it's just a Mario movie. I don't think we need to make it that complicated.
Yeah, totally. Bingo. Someone had a good comment here. what was it? I'm trying to find it. Getting back to the motive for Rosalina. Like maybe, instead of maybe losing her powers, Gabe's 3D World proposes that Bowser Jr. could kidnap some of Lumas and just blackmail her into not using her powers. That's a good one too. Maybe that's a
Oh, I didn't even think
possibility.
about that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
maybe
because the level difference between there is like the Lumas are at the bottom, and then you have Rosalina who can do so much work and so much damage is all the way at the top. So if Bowser Jr. just goes and picks up these stars and throws them in his like Koopa car or whatever, then Rosalina's like, oh, I have to do what you say because I don't want you to kill my children.
right. Kraus King continues on their prior thoughts, saying, I originally thought Rosalina might be the mom, like the games, but the way she speaks about Peach almost like they are sisters. So yeah, again, it can really go
Oh,
any direction. The trailer doesn't really offer any true clues. I mean, you can maybe read a little bit too much, literally, into the storybook where Rosalina, mentions Princess Peach without even saying anything about her being family, like my daughter or anything else. Not that she necessarily has to, but yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens. That does tie in another question, though, like, how does that library sequence fit in? I already mentioned it a little bit earlier. It could just be the beginning of the movie, where we see her, maybe it takes place in the future. She's retelling the events of the first movie, or not, rather, oh yeah, I guess the events of the first movie.
yeah, it would be the first one.
Or I mean, it could be the events of. Yeah, actually, I guess that would be. Well, no, but does that make sense? How would she know about the events of the first movie? It would be more the events of the movie we're watching then, right? Like she's telling the story of the movie we're about to watch.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Especially
I always thought.
especially because the events of the first movie wouldn't just be Peach by herself. It'd be Mario, Luigi, and Peach, Mario, Luigi, and Peach, right?
Because when she does open up the one page, it shows Peach with all the toads. It doesn't even show Mario and Luigi in that picture. But then the Lumas all know about Mario and Luigi, and they reference to them as the plumbers
Yeah, in a
instead of
separate
like anything
story.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
as
the
a separate
separate
story,
story.
which we do see in this movie. They may be having their own separate story.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what that means.
There's just so many questions we have.
I know this. We don't know how it really all fits together, which is so interesting. Like it felt very deliberate with scenes they chose, in which we really don't really understand how everything's tying together here. So, all right. Let's see here. Do you have any other questions, Nick?
Yeah, I have one. We kind of covered it in the things we love, but I'm curious to see why or learn how or why Bowser and Luigi are so buddy buddy. After Bowser was trying to kill
Yeah.
Luigi in the first movie, like it was a flick of a switch. Like Luigi almost forgot. Like you tried to rip off my mustache in the first movie and kill my brother, but now we're best friends. Like I wonder if they're gonna go into that anymore in this movie, or if it's really just for that first scene when
I
Bowser comes out of the mini castle.
yeah, you know what? I will probably went into it a little bit more. My gut reaction is just because Luigi's kind of naturally a people pleaser. It seems like
Yeah.
maybe a little meeker, a little bit more of a people pleaser. I think he's doing it just to not like rock the boat, right? Whereas in the first movie we've seen Mario like won't take that nonsense. He doesn't take crap. And I like that. Some people are like it's not Mario. Like I'm like no, this is exactly Mario, like based on the first movie at least. And I think it makes a lot of sense. But it would be fun if they lean into it a little bit more. Like we see a little bit more of a camaraderie between like maybe they grew closer together over some kind of shared understanding or something. So
And I can see that maybe like Luigi has to deliver stuff to Bowser in the mini castle. He's like, "Oh, I have to get him more paint." He like requested that I get him like a green brush or a green can of paint. And then he's like, "Oh, I love the art that he does. He drew a picture of me and then he draws a picture of Mario and it's crap. It doesn't look good because Mario just dislikes Bowser because of everything that he tried to do to him, Peach and Luigi and everyone else in the Mushroom Kingdom."
exactly, bingo. So all right, moving on. I want to touch on the character real quick that we haven't mentioned yet. I totally glossed over this in the analysis because I just didn't think there. I didn't even think to take a look at this character. But apparently, I already spoiled it. Apparently, Toad is wearing the Captain Toad handkerchief or a bandana, I guess, in the movie around his neck, possibly implying him more so becoming Captain Toad, or at least the spirit of that. I don't know if you have any thoughts as to where else they could be taking him in the Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say because I want to say that was Captain Toad's first appearance in any of the games, correct? It was Mario Galaxy.
It was, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was Mario Galaxy. So again, if they want just another nod or reference to Mario Galaxy, this would be an easy one to do. They can explain it early on in the movie, or maybe before they even go off to space. Like it could start with maybe Toad being knighted by Princess Peach. Like Peach gives like Toad like a little like speech saying like, "Oh, you helped me so much throughout this. Like you did this for me, so I'm gonna give you the new honor, a new title as Captain Toad." And that can explain like the scarf and again the connection to Mario Galaxy.
Exactly. So, and I do, there's one scene at one point where we see Princess Peach all by herself, implying Toad's not with her. So
Yeah.
where is he off? Is he doing his own adventure? Is he, is he on the spacefaring adventure of his own? So that could be a fun way that ties into. Maybe he has his own like whole Toad brigade again this time. So
It's just going to be a spin-off where he's just like collecting things. He can't jump or anything, just like Captain Toad.
exactly.
He's just very, very, he doesn't have a lot of movement.
My next question, Nick. This should be a
Yeah.
popular one for hardcore Mario and Peach fans. Do you see that image? I don't know if you can see right below me. It's Mario and Peach literally being shipped off in a boat. Will they ship
Oh my
Mario
God.
and Peach together in the movie? Will they do it? Will they actually become more? Because we do see in the movie Peach and Mario are hanging out together on the rooftop during the Star Festival. Looks a little romantic. I'm just saying. Are they going to finally do something more here with it?
I don't know, especially with their quote last time. What was it from this year? Saying that they're nothing but like friends.
Oh, but that was
They're
that was
not
just NOA doing the NOA thing. Japan's
Yeah.
was different, so
So maybe Universal has a little bit more say on the relationship here. Maybe they are going to push it a little forward and be like, hey, like these two are now like they're in a relationship. I mean, as easy to say it as that. But again, are they really going to push it that far in the movie? I don't know. I don't know, honestly. It can go either way. They could have a kiss at the end of the movie, like older games or some other Mario games. Or, again, they could just keep them friends for the whole time.
I want them to kiss, Nick. I bring on the uncensored kiss version. I want this. I want to see them kiss in the game or in the movie. It feel like it's been a while since it happened in the games, and I think it'd be nice to see it actually in a I think it would actually have more meaning in a movie version of it too. Yeah. So I think they have actual build up to it. Wouldn't be expected, especially as far as we know, Mario's naming rescuing her again this time. So it would be. I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting. But
Do we see Bowser jump in there just like he does in what's it, Mario RPG? He
he's
steals
just caught up in the
chips or
action,
whatever.
makes an awkward threesome again or whatever. That'd be so funny. Sharpie in the chat said they probably won't go too crazy, but the first movie basically said they were romantically interested in each other. Yeah, I think they actually handled it pretty smartly in the first movie. Like, they very lightly teased it without going too far. In fact, they even cut, like, a scene even more specific about that, with Mario, like, being a little bit more forward on the whole thing, which I think they smartly cut out because it felt like Mario was almost being a little distracted from the point of him rescuing his freaking brother. So I think that was actually a smart cut. But I did like that they lightly teased that element in the first movie that they can hopefully build up in this next one.
Like
So
you
I
said,
mean,
they do tease it in the first movie, especially when they're on the Rainbow Road, and Mario's like, "Oh, come to Brooklyn, I'll buy you a turtle," and she like laughs, and then Donkey Kong comes up and like ruins the whole moment, and then
yeah.
Toad's like, "No, he doesn't! Don't make fun of him." He says something like that. I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you, Toad."
Also, it's interesting. That kind of reminds me. It's just interesting how they're handling the pairings this time, with Mario and Luigi going on their own.
Yeah.
But then Captain, Toad and Princess Peach being their own pairing now. So it should allow for different, situations to arrive, because really they weren't really paired off before much in the first movie. Like, once Mario and Toad meet up with the princess, like, they're pretty much just a group for the rest of it until they get separated again. But we don't see much Toad and Princess interaction aside from a handful of moments. So I think that this can make for some more interesting situations, and also that's not even counting Bowser Jr. and Bowser, assuming that
Yeah.
Bowser Jr. is successful in rescuing Bowser. So
Yeah, and my favorite line, I think we talked about before, is when Toad is falling from Rainbow Road and Peach saves him, and he's like, "I'm too cute to die." I crack up every
it's
time
so
I
good.
see that
It's so
part.
great. Which is hilarious considering now Lumas are all adorable and their entire purpose is to die.
Yeah,
or
they're just like,
be
"No, I don't
reborn.
care." Toad's like, "Don't kill me. I don't want to die yet."
Whereas Luma's like, please kill me. I need to die. You had okay, I think you're up next for a question, right?
Yeah. So we just went off of yours. My next one is, I don't have too many left because I think we've been going back and forth, and there's been some that we already covered. But my next one is there going to be another musical number from Jack Black? Do you think there's going to be something that goes viral again?
Oh yeah,
Just like
100%.
Peaches?
I mean, come on, they were already teasing it in the trailer where he's humming the theme song
Okay,
from.
he is humming. He is humming. So if that's the case, do you think it's going to be a duet? And if that's the case, who's he going to be singing with? Is it going to be Bowser Jr.? Is it going to be with Luigi? Is it going to be with Peach? Is it going to be with some like other random character like Kamek? Is there going to be a duet singing
Oh
number
man.
here?
I wonder if the actor for Bowser Jr. if he has any singing experience. If he
Oh yeah.
does, lock it in. Absolutely. So, in any case, yeah, I think Bowser Jr. will sing for sure, and a duet of some kind would be fantastic. So even if it'd be really fun, like if it's a duet with Princess Peach, but only in his head, like she's joining him, but he's just totally making it up again. I will say, actually, that I will say that for a concern later on. But
Okay.
yeah, I do. I think there will be singing. So.
I would no, I like your idea of having him like just picture it in his head because he does do that in the first movie. He's playing piano and there's Peach like all around him, and she's like I guess happy to be there almost, or he's happy to see her. So like maybe he's doing his painting and he's playing music at the same time or singing a song at the same time. But yeah, based off of the picture that he did, like Peach is like goo goo gaga for him because he's got like the abs and he drew that picture or whatever. But yeah, I think a duet with I guess a character that we wouldn't expect outside of Bowser Jr. Like someone like Peach would be awesome, or even Luigi. Like it'd be funny to see Charlie Day sing, especially because he does the Day Man and Always Sunny, and I love that episode, and he
Hmm.
sings in that.
I have a question. What are
Go for it.
Mario and Luigi doing in the desert? Like, why are they there? And I mentioned in the trailer that, or in my analysis, that, there is another character infamous for being desert based, or famous, I should say, being, of course, Princess Daisy, which he more recently kind of retconned, Shy Guy Bazaar as being, as her having a palace there.
Yeah,
So I wonder if this is all setting up, her canonically being the princess of the desert, which a lot of fans have taken to be the case anyway. And if maybe that could be where they're going off to meet, like, Princess Daisy. But we do know there was a leaked storyboard years ago now where we saw Mario and Luigi wearing the same cloaks that they are in
yeah,
the
we should see
film
that.
in like in a marketplace setting, and what I assumed is a desert ended up being correct. I still assume, to me the implication was they're looking for something, either someone or something, and so I'm wondering could that someone be sorry, Daisy.
So I don't know if they're gonna have again. Like I think they might have hit their limit with the amount of characters that they have for this movie. At least like the major characters. Again, I think we're sitting at 7 or 8. Removing Donkey Kong was a good call to bring in these other two characters. If they do have Daisy here, I don't see her having much of a major role, right? Because again, like Rosalina is a ginormous character to cover. Bowser Jr. is a ginormous character to cover. So to have a third one being Daisy, like maybe you save that for movie 3 or 4. But the thing is, again, they are going to be searching for something here. What they're searching for in the desert, again, it's as crazy as it is. It could be the ring that they get from that level in Mario Odyssey. I think the ring is in that stage, if I'm correct, because Bowser goes to
Oh,
each
right.
individual.
Well,
The ring is
to
there.
I completely forgot about that. And to that
Yeah,
point, my pal Brer Oswald in the chat is saying that what if Mario's trying to propose to Peach and he's going to achieve the
yeah.
ring? That of it would be funny. I
There
love
you
that
go.
idea. I love that idea. The only thing I dislike about it is that I feel like we may have skipped a few steps in there that I wanted to see their relationship like
Yeah.
blossom at that point. But I won't be too heartbroken about it. I think that'd be amazing. I think that's a really cute idea. Um,
Which would be funny because in Mario Odyssey, it's Bowser and the I don't like. I'm okay with the bunnies, but I'm trying to think of their name. What is it? The
the
Brutals?
Brutals, yeah.
The Brutals, they're the ones stealing all the objects from each of the locations in Mario Odyssey. But this time it'd be Mario stealing the ring instead of the Brutals stealing the ring, which would just be funny to think about.
That would be.
But yeah, to have Mario in the desert and more Odyssey stuff there, I would love that. Again, I can talk about Odyssey all day.
Yeah, I still can't go over how awesome that desert sequence looked. It looks so freaking
It
good.
looks so cool.
Speaking of princesses, oh, so wait, yeah, so whether or not Daisy appears here, who knows? But I'm inclined to think probably not. But
Yeah.
speaking of princesses, I think you had a princess-related question, didn't you?
Yeah, this is I guess my last one on the list. It's why was Rosalina addressed as princess? And this is something that I didn't realize until everyone was saying like in comments and videos. It's like she's not addressed in princess in any of or she's never been addressed as princess before, right? Like it's always just been Rosalina. But whoever is that knocks at her door, again, I think it's Bowser Jr. says Princess Rosalina in that scene. So again, like maybe they are changed dialogue here, and maybe that won't be in the final movie. But it was just kind of odd that they refer to her as Princess Rosalina.
Yeah, that stood out to me immediately, and I actually forgot to address it in the analysis. Partially, but I didn't think it was a huge deal, just because like I think everyone kind of like assumed she was a princess. But that
Yeah,
is, I believe, the first time that, as you were suggesting, that's the first time she's really been officially known as a princess. Which, it gets back into the whole like if Peach is her mom, and maybe Peach is technically a queen in the future, maybe that's why Rosalina is a princess, because she's the daughter of a queen, which Peach gets married. Is that how princesses become queens? I don't know how the
I
whole hierarchy
I
thing
think
works.
that would mean Mario is royalty, I guess, right?
Well,
Is that
King
how it
Mario,
works?
baby, you've seen that image, right, of him holding out the crown.
And think of the name Queen Peach is so. I'm just so used to Princess Peach by now, right? It just rolls off the tongue. Queen Peach, like I don't know if I can. If I can change that, but if that's
Queech.
the way they're going in the movie, yeah, you're just gonna like combine them
Yeah, that
together.
sounds terrible. Don't combine it. I tried it. Does not sound good. Oh man. All right. Let's see here. I think that was. Here's another question I have
Go for it.
actually. Actually, Queen says there's no way Peach is older than Rosalina. No, I agree. But with the whole like time resetting shenanigans, like nothing's impossible here, right? So with the universe resets, they end up factoring that in. I didn't even think the games would ever go there, and then we had that reset at the end of, I think both games even. No, they reset it twice. That universe is so freaking messed up.
And
So
in which game specifically?
Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 at the end. They
Mario
reset.
Galaxy One and
Oh, that's the
Two.
first one
Yeah.
they reset. I can never remember how 2 ends. I think they do the same thing, but I don't remember. Anyways. What was I going to say? Oh, so here's a question.
Go
I
for it.
mentioned it earlier, the whole casino that Princess Peach is at, which is a
Yeah.
fun little environment. What is she doing? First off, what is she doing there? Second, what are all the ninjas doing there? Do ninjas just hang out at casinos? Do they run the casino? Like, what's going on?
I know you brought up it before. I think you were talking about like Return of the Jedi or maybe A New Hope or something. But I definitely thought the desert scene, and I'll go back to the casino in a second. I got Episode 7 vibes right away.
Oh
I
God,
keep
no!
thinking,
Episode
yeah,
8, don't you mean?
no. So the desert is Episode 7. That's where Rey lives. I'm trying to think what Episode 7 is called. I can't even remember the name of the newer ones.
The Force
But Episode
Awakens.
8, The Force Awakens. Yeah, that's it. But Episode 8 is when they go to the casino level. So there's just a bunch of Star Wars references in our Mario movie now. But again, like why are they at the casino level? I thought of what's it called from Sunshine right away. What was it with King Boo over at the hotel?
Yeah. Delfino Hotel or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely no hotel. That's what I thought about right away. But maybe this is like a little side mission they do. Like maybe Toad is secretly into gambling or something.
Toad's a gambling addict. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Peach, we gotta go to this planet. I heard they have like good slot machines there. And then they end up going, they get jumped by the ninjas.
Sharpie says, wait, wasn't there a casino level or something like that with ninjas and Mario Wonder? I was trying to remember for my analysis.
Is
I thought that there
oh,
was, but I couldn't place it
I,
immediately, so I instead referenced Origami King, which had like a similar ambush from ninjas. So maybe someone else can back us up in the chat whether Mario Wonder had something like that. But I did think I remembered something similar to that.
if
Uh,
not, like I remember like a room full with coins just dropping down. Like
yeah,
maybe
maybe
there's
that
slot
that was.
machines
I
in
think
the
that was it.
background.
Yeah, something to that nature. So chat, let us know if there's more questions you have about the Mario Galaxy movie we haven't addressed yet. Because I want to get to some super chats real quick because I did see it, Queens. So we were saving them for the end of each segment, and we're about at the end of this one. So the super chats we had one earlier. Thank you so much for that bigger super chat. Did we already address it? Oh, where are they?
Which
I'm
one?
looking. Here it is. Tommy had earlier a bigger super chat. Thank you, Tommy. Said, since the new Mario Galaxy movie trailer will be seen during the previews before Wicked for good, you think they're trying to tell us something? Ariana Grande, you crossover Super Mario, Ariana for Smash.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Sorry, Ariana Grande, crossover Mario, Super Mario, Ariana for Smash. I'm down for however they want to bring her in. We actually touched on this a little bit in our predictions. I think our
Yeah.
predictions or before the live stream. I would love if Ariana is voicing some character. Maybe she's Yoshi. That'd be amazing. I cannot wait for Wicked. If the trailer is in fact in front of it, it'll be amazing seeing on the big screen. Super stoked. Thank you for the super chat. Do you have any thoughts on that, Nick?
Yeah, that would be one way to reveal Ariana Grande for the Mario movie. Again, I thought that she would have been a good fit for Rosalina, especially since I saw the first Wicked about like a week or two ago. I was like, I had a good time with it. But yeah, I don't know who else she would play. I don't think it would be Daisy. Again, I think if they had someone of that caliber, they would save it for a Nintendo Direct like they just did. But yeah, I don't know who else she would be in the movie. Maybe she is Bowser's duet singer, in the Bowser singing or with Jack Black. Maybe that's who they bring in to sing with Bowser. But then again, like I don't know who her character would be.
Yeah, I don't either. But that would be an amazing thing. But I think if it were to have happened, they would have announced it during this
Yeah,
direct. The timing would have worked out really well. So it was fun thing to think about. Then Queens with a super chat. We're talking about princesses and queens. Thank you, Queen. Says I want to see Daisy. I want to see Daisy, her, and Peach. Sorry, I want to say Daisy, her, and
yeah.
Peach. Sorry, I think I'm misreading this. Or I want to. I want to see Daisy and Peach are my favorite duo. I think that's what she's saying.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Daisy and Peach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think we really see them interact too much together outside of like the sports games, right? Because they're just always paired up to each other. Like, specifically, like Mario Tennis is where we see the most interaction between them. Or I guess Double Dash. I like how they are in Double Dash together. But outside of that, I'm trying to think the relationship as a duo.
Yeah, Double Dash is the first one that they kind of like. Oh wait, maybe Mario Tennis.
It was Mario Tennis on
Right, that's
64,
right.
and I think Double Dash was the one shortly after that where they kind of paired them together again.
Yeah, it would be. I guess it would be nice to see. Yeah, does Princess Peach have any friends? Like we see her, like
Besides the Toads.
besides the Toads, like that's yeah. I mean, does she even hang out with them? Like, I don't know. We haven't really seen much of her social life, so maybe she needs a friend. I guess she has Mario Luigi now, so that's something. Well, hopefully not just Mario. We don't want him to be just a friend, right? They gotta ship him, as I said. Look, ship Mario Luigi, or no, not Mario Luigi, Mario, Mario and Peach. And then Daisy, though, like Daisy and Luigi, right? So, yeah. Oh, here, Queen says, sorry, I was trying to say I want to see Daisy in the movie because her and Peach are my favorites. LOL. That makes sense. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that may be a lot for this movie, but I definitely want to see that at some point. Maybe the third movie. But if it happens here too, I'm fine with that. So, I think
Again,
it'd be
and they
good.
could even tease Daisy here, like have her in the background, or maybe we don't even hear her talk, and they save her like as a big reveal for the next movie. Because I feel like they did that with I'm trying to think. I was going to say some comparison to a Sonic movie, um, but I think they kept everyone as is.
The chat's
What are
losing
we
it. I might,
laughing
I
at?
might misspeak. SD says brotherly love. Yes. A little too much. The sequel to Brothership, we didn't know we never knew we wanted it. We don't want it. Anyways, to move on from that. All right. Anything else? Any other questions we have about the Mario movie, Mario Galaxy movie, before we move on to our concerns about it?
No,
Nick?
I think we went over most of them. At least I'm looking through my list. Where did Bowser Jr. come from? Are there going to be more items like the Wonder stuff? Is there going to be Elephant Mario? Where the hell is Yoshi? Where did Bowser and Luigi kind of become buddy buddy?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
there are
Go
really
ahead.
infinite questions. Like, does Bowser
Yeah.
actually get free from Bowser Jr.? Is he successful in that? Do we see them working together? How much is Bowser Jr. by himself? Like, do you think he's successful in freeing Bowser Jr. or Bowser?
Yeah, I think it's going to be instant. I think
Yeah.
we're going to see again with how fast the first movie kind of got into things. I think we're going to see Bowser like in the Koopa Clown car, and I think he's either I don't know. I'm trying to think like is he going to have a mushroom like on hand to become big right away, or is Bowser Jr. going to jump in the Koopa Clown car and he's going to look at his dad? He's just going to sit right next to him because he's so tiny. Maybe that's how they get away because there's only so much room that you can fit in the Koopa Clown car. So
Yeah.
instead of having them both be their normal sizes, maybe it's just Bowser Jr. normal size and Bowser. But yeah, I think Bowser Jr. is gonna be successful getting Bowser within the first like 5 or 10 minutes of the movie.
Rondo says a movie will be ideal for more interaction between these two. If there's any good place to start other than the games, we're talking for. Oh, I think we're talking to the princesses. But it
Yeah,
did remind
Daisy
me,
and
even for
Peach.
Bowser and Bowser Jr. Like, that's something
Yeah,
we haven't really seen all that much of either. Like the two things that come to mind are the ending of Mario Sunshine,
of
which
Sunshine. Yep. He
very
like pats
brief.
him on the back or
Yeah,
whatever.
and I especially love that scene, and also the hilarious parental controls app.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
love that.
but this movie could be a really good way of building up more of a actually understanding more their relationship.
I like how it's handled in, even though like again, it's not that often that we see their interactions. I like how it's handled in Bowser's Fury, where
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Bowser Jr. comes over to Mario and he's like showing him the drawing pictures. He's like, "Oh, my father went crazy. You gotta help
Right.
me go get him."
Yeah, exactly. Brera says, I think Bowser Jr. lifts the castle up with a UFO, kicks Mario off, and then restores Bowser's size before the first 20 minutes are up. Yeah, I think you think it might be onto something, Brera. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. So, All right, let's go ahead and move into our potential concerns for the Mario Galaxy movie. So I want to say, of course, we are both love what we've seen so far, but we do have some possible hesitations. Though again, I want to stress that even our hesitations can end up being a good thing depending on how they make them work if they end up happening
Yeah.
in the movie. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I'm sure we do have some hesitations. And I guess let's go and start with you, Nick. Do you have any concerns right now from what we've seen?
Yeah, I hope that they don't show too much between all the trailers before the final release of the movie. I
Oh,
hope
that's
they
a
keep
fake
something.
concern. Come
No, no,
on.
but no, it is an actual concern. Like I hope they keep some secrets and some teases for the actual movie. Like I don't want to see every single trailer because when I'm super excited for a movie, like I try to avoid trailers as much as possible because like I want to go in completely blind. But I know like we're gonna be working on so much of this before the movie comes out. It's like I hope they keep some secrets,
Yeah.
especially like that deep cut character who they were teasing. I hope they save that for the movie.
Yeah, I hear you. I think they did a pretty good job with the first movie. Like we saw, in hindsight, we had seen a fair amount of it, but also I had so much fun watching it. Like it didn't
Yeah.
matter. So, SD says Andre's concerned there's not enough love in the movie. Yeah, maybe. All right. So my first real concern, we already touched on it a little bit, is that Rosalina is going to be too OP. That's my
Yeah.
concern, and that's always been my concern. She's just going to be too strong, and unfortunately, the trailer did not alleviate that concern at all. She's straight up. I mean, arguably, she almost seems more powerful in the trailer than she is in the games. I mean, I guess she has the ability to reset the universe, maybe with the power of the Lumas, but in a strictly battle sense, like she's extremely strong. Just, chopping off the legs of this giant mechanical creature effortlessly, spawning a magic wand out of nowhere and flying around like it's no big deal. So I am curious to see how they handle that. And we've already talked about that in the question section, so I won't belabor the point. But that is a concern that they'll make her too strong. Because I think in a larger sense, we already know Princess Peach is quite competent. Some
Yeah.
mentioned as a complaint. I had no particular issue with it. But I don't want Mario to be like, to be so underpowered relative to others that he doesn't really feel like he matters anymore, right? So that's a concern. Then not only is Rosalie OP and that her role in the story is almost, my concern is that they overshadow Mario. Some people already said that happened in the first movie. I don't quite agree with that, but that is a concern I have now with Peach and Rosalina both being really strong characters. Like, could that happen?
Yeah, like looking at the tier list of how powerful the characters are going to be for this movie, it's like Rosalina's at the top. Below that is probably, I guess, Bowser, and then Peach, and then maybe no, even above Peach, like Bowser Jr. seems very, very strong from the first trailer. And then you go down from there, it's like, what do you have, Mario and Luigi, and then Toad? Like they're almost at the very bottom. So again, they have to figure out a way to kind of bring Rosalina from a 10 all the way down to like their level, so she just isn't controlling the whole situation or as powerful as she is for this movie.
Right. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, and that could factor into the actual story as you were saying. So I'm interested to see what they're cooking
Yeah.
up there. All right, what's your concern,
I
Nick?
got one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this one I actually just thought up right now. My concern is that Bowser Jr. kind of gets sidelined by actual Bowser. Like Bowser is annoyed by Bowser Jr. in
right.
some shape or form, and then Bowser Jr. ends up becoming a good guy in the movie. I don't want to see that. I like Bowser Jr. being a villain. I want him to work alongside Bowser, but again, my concern is that Bowser gets fed up with Bowser Jr. in some shape or form. He's like, "Oh, you're not good enough to be my son," or this, and this, and he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna help Mario and Luigi instead." So goodbye, Dad. Like, I don't like you anymore. I'm going to join the good guy. So I hope that's not the case with this movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I feel like they wouldn't introduce Bowser Jr. only to immediately sideline him. But I do wonder, like, I almost do think it would be more interesting if Bowser isn't freed immediately, because then we do have to see
And we
Bowser
get
Jr.
more from
more
Bowser
by
Jr.
himself.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that will give him more of a drive. But then you're stuck with the problem of how do you free Bowser? You need to free him eventually, right? Or they stay kidnapped forever. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how they handle that, how they balance that. But it could just be really fun to see them working as a father-son duo as well. And yeah, and what is their combined motive too? We already, and actually use this as a
Okay, go for
launching
it.
point for my next concern. Is my concern, I thought it was hilarious in the trailer, but my concern is that Bowser's still just gonna be purely obsessed with Peach. Like, I kind of hope he gets over
Yeah.
Peach, right? I don't want that to be his sole driving force anymore. Like, come on, get over it. Like she's maybe with Mario now. She's not going to get with you. It was funny initially, but I need him to have a larger goal in mind. And maybe that's where Bowser Jr. comes in. Maybe he is what helps give Bowser a different motive. And obviously in the games, his motive is to take over the entire galaxy. And maybe that's what's going to be the case here as well. But they need to set that up, explain it, like why is this now his motive, and in either case, that would be good to help it get him off Peach. So.
And I agree with that. I think they handled it pretty well in the first movie. Obviously, like I freaked out when I saw Bowser in his like tuxedo and having the whole wedding ceremony. I was like, oh, more Odyssey references here. Like I'm on board with this. But again, like him being obsessed with Peach, I don't know if that's going to be his full motive. Should it be? Probably not. I think his motive now is to destroy Mario, right? Like he definitely dislikes Mario, so I think that's what he's going after now.
Still find it hilarious how he gets along with Luigi but not Mario. I find that so freaking funny, and that's the kind of thing like you won't see in the games, right? Like,
No.
yeah. Brer in the chat says, "I hope Bowser becomes more obsessed with destroying Mario than he is being with Peach." Yeah, I think more vengeful. Yes, I agree with that. I think that would be more interesting, where Mario becomes a symbol of everything he hates. But I do hope it becomes, or of everything maybe that annoys him. But I hope it's used as a launching off point for again exploring more of Bowser's backstory and why he is the way he is. Again, I don't know if this is the movie for it, but again, I think Bowser Jr. could be that in for why he is the way he is. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I keep saying that, how they handle that backstory. All right, here's a weird concern I have,
Go
Nick.
For it.
This is such a minor nitpick. What? Sorry.
I said it's a weird one.
Well, it's what you've already heard it before. It's a minor nitpick, but it's because the movie confirmed my fear. And again, when I'm watching, it's not going to matter at all. But it annoys me in the context when I'm thinking about the lore of everything. And that's the fact that we now know that there's these tiny little planetoids that have like a handful of creatures, and it makes me wonder, how do they eat? Do those poor bloopers on that little tiny water planet, did they get lonely? Like, what else is there to do there but swim around in a circle all day? They're basically stuck in a space aquarium. And and I wonder, like, how does every other planetoid work, and it just makes me wonder too much about how they function as an ecosystem.
Yeah, it's like, are they all going to be specialized in one thing and one thing only? Like this planet is just the water planet, and the bloopers just have to live on water, and that's it. And like the casino planet, they all just have to live off gambling. Like, is that what they're going to be doing in this movie?
That's such a lonely existence, just stuck in a gambling planet. There's nothing else to do but gamble. Oh my god. I didn't think about that because I guess we don't even know what they're inside for that.
Yeah, we don't.
mean, is that just the plant's interior? Well, what's the exterior? Is that the deep underground? Maybe it's sending a message. Like, if you want to gamble, you gotta go to the deep underground.
Yeah, it is a good question to think about or have a concern about, seeing like how these other planets interact, and maybe that's like what Rosalina is like end goal. Maybe she has to take care of all these planets, and that's how they run off of. I guess maybe I'm just trying to make more sense of like Rosalina's role here and how these planets could be sufficient without anything else. Again, going back to the blooper planet, it's just the bloopers swimming in the water there, and that's all they got.
That's all they got. All right, Nick. What's your speaking of all you got? What's another concern you have for us?
Well, this one might be a fake one, like the first one I had, but I'm gonna go with it anyway because it is a concern I have with the movie. Less so the plot, but my concern is that I hope they do. I hope they cut back on the licensed music from the first movie. I know you enjoyed it a lot, and I know definitely other people enjoyed having licensed music for those specific scenes. But I felt like there was too many tracks that I enjoyed. Like I loved all the music selection. Like I'm a fan of those songs, but having them in the Mario movie just kind of took me out at parts because again, like, it's rare that we see licensed music being used for anything Mario. The only time I can think of it is I guess Donkey Konga, and that's a Donkey Kong game, or maybe Mario DDR on the GameCube, where I think they might have had some licensed tracks on there. But again, having it for the Mario movie, where I wish they had more specific songs from Mario games there in the Mario movie, especially getting off the high of Mario Kart World and listening to how good that soundtrack is. I hope they're able to push some of those songs here in this movie.
Yeah, I have no concerns about this. I thought they handled it perfectly.
I know.
Movie. I love the soundtrack that they came up with. I like the licensed music that they used. So I hope we do get... I mean, I actually do hope we have more... maybe not more, but additional licensed tracks here, only because it'll make the first movie stand out in a weird way, I think, in hindsight, if it doesn't follow the through line. So I thought they had a good balance, but I get that too. You're not alone in that opinion, so I totally get it.
Like, I don't want to hear... even though I love the song, I don't want to hear Jump by Van Halen playing when Mario and Luigi. Like maybe there was a cut of the movie where, or maybe I saw like a fan made one where they had Jump playing during the final sequence when they're taking out Bowser. I'm like, no, I'd much rather have the orchestral soundtrack for that part.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, and I
All right.
think, yeah, I mean, I do hope that they find a good balance. I know some people have mentioned, the first movie almost had the final battle be, I think a Van Halen song again or
I think
something.
yeah, I think it might have been Jump.
And yeah, and they smartly didn't go that route. So I hope that that they find that balance. So key moments I think are important to have that Mario
Yeah,
music when we need it. So here's my next concern
go for it.
is that we have not seen Mario actually be in space yet. We've only seen him in the desert. So it's called Mario Galaxy. Will we actually see Mario in Galaxy? Like, will we actually see him do anything? Or is it going to be a Princess Peach, Galaxy adventure?
Yeah, they're going to change the name halfway through. It's going to be called Princess Peach Galaxy or something like that. But no, going off of that, maybe they're going the complete opposite route. Maybe Mario's taking more of an approach to Donkey Kong Bonanza, where he is in the desert and he is going to go underground at some point. Like maybe
Right.
he keeps going down the complete opposite way Peach and Toad are going, which is into space.
Speaking of space, sorry, I don't mean to go back
Oh
to
yeah.
a previous point about the licensed music. Gabe's 3D World says, defying gravity in Mario Galaxy movie. Yes, defying gravity from Wicked. It'd be perfect for the
Oh
Wicked
my.
good tie-in coming out next week, and the movie trailer or should be possibly right in front of it. I love that idea. That'd be so
Actually,
freaking good.
I did enjoy that song during the
It's
movie.
so good. It's such a good song. All right. Anyways, sorry. Was there more to your point though, Nick? I'm sorry. I totally.
No, we were just talking about how we haven't seen Mario in space
Space,
yet,
yeah.
and it is kind of shocking. But maybe they save that for the actual movie. But again, I think there will be an actual. No, you know what they're going to save it for? They're
What?
going to save it for a trailer with Yoshi because he's going to ride on Yoshi's back in space. That's what they're probably saving it
Oh,
for.
you're totally right. Actually, you're right. We actually do
That's
know that's
probably,
going to
yeah,
happen for sure. But we've seen Mario, thanks to the Pillsbury Doughboy leak,
yeah.
the lick that keeps on giving. Um, here's something we haven't really talked about. Not really much of concern, but we just haven't touched on it yet. Is I'm curious to see how they factor in the Comet Observatory. We do
Yeah.
see it in the trailer in the background, and we saw it in the Pillsbury box. But I wonder how much we're going to see of it because I always thought in the games like it felt like a weird. They never it never really made sense as a living quarters. So I
Yeah.
hope that they better tie everything together and we see like her actual living space, and how all that fully works. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious to see what they do with that. So I guess that would be
It,
more of an unanswered question, but yeah.
yeah, but so for that, the fireplace or the library, is that at the Comet Observatory or is that going to be at the castle she was in the movie?
Sorry, say that again. The
So like
fireplace scene. Oh,
yeah, the
I
library
would
is that
assume
actually that is a location at the Comet
it's in the
Observatory,
Common
right?
Observatory. I mean,
Yeah.
they could always change it. It doesn't have to be there. But I would be inclined to think that they would keep it on the Common Observatory. But maybe it'll make more sense off of it. That's the thing they could easily change. I will
Yeah.
say I was just a little surprised overall. Like just again how close it stuck to the games in many elements. So like that library is almost a 1-to-1 recreation.
Yeah, they did a good
Like
job with
yeah,
that.
they did a really good job. So all right. Sorry, do we have your concern already, Nick, or do you have another one?
Yeah. I think I only had a handful of concerns because I mean right off of the bat like I was so happy
I have
with this first
another
initial trailer. All right,
I
go
have another
for it
concern, Nick. My concern
then. Is this a goofy one?
My concern is very serious, Nick. This is a very serious concern. I am concerned that Piantas might appear in the movie.
Oh wait, that's a concern?
It's
Oh,
it's a
would love
concern. I don't want them to appear.
I would love that. I'm a huge fan of the
No, they're
Piantas,
ugly
especially
and they're ugly and goofy. They have no place here.
especially Don Pianta. I'd be okay if there was like a side.
Don
Maybe
Pianta, I'll
maybe
make an exception for, but
okay,
any other
okay.
Piantas.
So if we see the Piantas here, this will be your stipulation. You'll be happy with this. If they are here, put them at the casino level. Don Pianta, he's the one that runs the casino.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can make this work. Maybe we can make this work. Going back real quick to the Comet Observatory, Brer brings up an interesting point because I did notice in the analysis that the planet she seems to be on, the Comet Observatory in the background,
Yeah.
where Mega Leg appears, it didn't appear to be like a proper planet. Like it appeared to have like a drop off, like like
I did,
in
yeah.
the space, which isn't uncommon for Mario Galaxy planets either. But Brer does bring up a good way of like reconciling this, and that Brer is saying, I think the grass section she was in is a part of the observatory that detaches, was not traveling around space. You can see the terrace and kitchen domes in the background. So that is a good point. That maybe that's how they handle it this time. So good.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And that would make a little bit more sense because the Comet Observatory, from the game point, there's some space to travel around, but for the movie, I think we would see it so quickly, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not that big in hindsight. But maybe some of the Lumas live there or something. Are you laughing at the Piantas?
Yeah,
I
the
see
chat's all over
Pianta
the place.
slander.
SSBB says Pianta slander is crazy. Queens is saying, I agree. I think they're agreeing with the Piantas, but correct me if I'm wrong, Queens. And yeah, it's just hilarious. Anyways, our continue, Nick.
No, I'm reading the comments too about the Piantas. Okay, the one Pianta I don't like is the Chuckster. I do not like that stage in Mario Sunshine. Even though the last time I played it recently, I think I was able to get chucked over within like the first like 5 tries. So I was so happy beating that stage that quickly.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, those stages are a pain, though. You know, they're in Sunshine, right? They're a nightmare.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
ones where they literally just throw you and you kind of have to line it up perfectly.
totally. All right, I've got maybe another slight concern
Go for
here.
it.
Actually, no, actually no. Hold on here. Let me see what else. What else I have here. Oh yeah, okay. Here, this is more of a future concern. I will say, because you know, I actually really like what they're doing with Bowser Jr. here, but the side effect of that is it strongly suggests we won't have any Koopalings here. So this is more of a future concern. I hope that Bowser Jr. being here and canonized in the Mario movies doesn't come at the expense of the Koopalings. Because one of the things I loved about the first Mario movie is how it, you know, made the backstory I grew up with from Mario being from New York his actual proper backstory in the movies. I love that. But another part of a backstory we had as kids, whether the Koopalings were Bowser's kids. They were even called like
Yeah.
Bowser's kids. So I will love if they reconcile that in the future. Probably not in this movie, but I hope that they find some way to make that make sense in the future. Whether he has more kids, or I like your idea you had at some point where he adopts them. I think that'd be
Yeah.
really cool. And so I hope that Bowser Jr. isn't at their expense. That's more my hope. Because Bowser Jr. didn't come until way after the Koopalings originally. And so I'm curious to see how they handle that moving forward, if they do.
And that's the thing, like I grew up more so with Bowser Jr. than the Koopalings. Because even though I knew the Koopalings there somewhat existed when I was playing Mario as a kid, like Bowser Jr. was the first one that I kind of gravitated towards. But yeah, maybe they saved the Koopalings for a spin-off Bowser movie. I'm just thinking of something crazy as that, where Bowser has to go around and maybe he's like saving the Koopalings in some way. But having the Koopalings in the movies in the future, that's just so many characters that you have to fill. Again, I think it's possible. I think they can do it. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think of who could play each one. I could barely think of like who could play
Yeah,
Rosalina
I
and
don't
Bowser
want to
Jr.
go
So like
there. It'd be
the
here
list is
forever.
just way too
All right.
long.
I have another concern, Nick.
Go
I
for it.
don't want, again, I say this knowing that they could do it, it'll probably be fine, and especially if they execute it well. My gut reaction, though, is I don't want them to do like any universe resets. Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
the first Mario Galaxy ended with them just resetting the entire thing. And I don't want that. I feel like it would undermine, I don't know, the characters, the universe. I wanted to have integrity. I never like resets like that in general because it makes you think, like, what happened to everything in the meantime? You know, like, did they just lose all their memories? You know, like, are they even the same people anymore? It just introduces questions, and, like, again, it ties in the whole, like, Rosalina and Luma's being OP type thing. And I think it's just a lot simpler. That's not a factor at all, you know?
And that seems like something they would do for like later movies. I know we brought up before, like going into space seems like something you would do for a later series movie. All right, like Fast and Furious going to space. What are they on Fast and Furious like 10 or 11? I don't know. I'm not a
Too
Fast and
many.
Furious fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a reset this early on, only off of the second movie, just seems way too quick. But again, like I'm picturing it, I can see it happening because I can see Rosalina like over like a star or something, or looking at all the characters and they're about to lose a battle or something, and then she just like grabs her wand. The next thing you know, you see like a giant explosion, like the Big Bang, and then it goes back to them all in the Mushroom Kingdom and Bowser's tiny again. Like I hope that's not the case, but I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, we'll see, Nick. So, yeah. Is that it for your concerns as well, I
Yeah,
think?
my list was only time again because after seeing this first trailer, I was like, I don't think I have too many concerns for the movie overall. Again, I think I have to see a little bit more before my list starts getting a little bit longer. But what we've seen so far, I'm pretty happy with.
RT Omni is building off my concern about the universe reset, saying, I don't even know what the universe reset entailed in the first game other than the existence of new levels. Yeah, it's funny, it didn't really change a whole lot. It just, I guess it was an explanation for, I mean, I guess it allowed them to kill Bowser, then bring him back immediately right after. That's it. Like, oh, look, we killed him, but also he's back now, you know?
Wait,
Um,
speaking of killing Bowser, do you think we'll see Bowser or Dry Bowser in this movie at all?
I don't want no. It's actually, I
I know
don't
you're
want
not
Dry
a
Bowser.
fan
I
of
hate
Dry
Dry Bowser.
Bowser,
I
right?
don't like
Yeah.
him as a character. If Bowser's dead, he should stay dead. I guess the first movie did the whole like Koopa Troopa thing, turning him into a Dry Bones, you know. But or rather, I don't want him to stay dead. I don't think Bowser should be dead at all. I guess is more my point. Like, don't kill Bowser and don't bring him back as Dry Bowser. That's what happens. So. We had a super chat here from Zone to Perception. Thank you so much, Zone, for the large super chat. They say, not sure if y'all discussed it yet, but plot point, what if you see Bowser go through some kind of anger management group therapy with other Mario villains and we get a Wart cameo? Love your channel. First off, thank you so much. Love the kind words and the super chat. Secondly, it's hilarious that ties into Wreck-It Ralph, where he's part of that.
Thinking that. Like, yeah, the Bad Guy Anonymous meeting. So I'm like, it technically already happened. Like, he was already in a meeting with all these other characters talking about like how they don't like being the bad guys in their games. Unfortunately, Bowser didn't even have any voice lines in that movie. But seeing them with the little kind of, he had a little cup of coffee. He had like a little straw in it, and he would like mix it around. But yeah, seeing that, that'd be awesome to see that in the movie. Him like sitting next to War and Wario and Waluigi and Bowser Jr. just talking it over. Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be pretty great. I do love already, like, in the teaser, like, Bowser seems to be working on himself. And I kind of hope that's not just for show. I mean, obviously, to some degree, he's obviously going to revert to his old ways, obviously. But I think it would be cool if he actually is meaningfully trying to make character progress himself, like, be a better person, you know? And, you know, maybe Bowser Jr. either aids or works against that, you know? And, yeah, so that could tie into the whole therapy idea. I don't know if they'll actually go that far, but I like it. Brer had said, getting back to the universe reset, I've always hated the universe reset, even though Galaxy is my favorite game of all time. So it's never really got into what it implied for the future. Oh yeah, I'm the exact same way, Brer. Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Odyssey are some of my favorite Mario games, but I kind of hate what they all add to the lore. Like, I love New Donk City, but I hate it as like a location that actually exists in this lore. You know, the whole universe reset, Rosalie being like a semi-goddess, it all kind of like, if I think about it too much, I don't like it, but I still adore the game. I like the stories, you know? It's just like when I think about it as a whole, it's like this whole, it doesn't make any sense, you know? So that's why I'm hoping the Mario Galaxy movie really helps it all make sense together. The first movie, again, I think did a great job at it, but we'll have to see if they can pull it through for the second one, so.
Wait, there's no way we see New Donk City here, right? Like,
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't want New Donk City to exist in this universe. It would just be way too weird. It would make no freaking sense.
It'd just be the opposite of Brooklyn. Like, you already have Brooklyn, so I don't think you need another major city right now.
Jackson had a super chat. Thank you, Jackson. Says Bowser Jr. is whiny in the parental controls video with Bowser. Will they tone it down or not? Oh, I think they've definitely toned it down.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
I touched on it earlier. I think it's part of the reason why I never really liked Bowser Jr. I just found him kind of annoying. But I like the characterization they've given him so far in the Mario Galaxy movie, because they kind of like, I think, sidestep that phase. He's a little bit older, it seems. He's kind of like, yeah, I think they avoided the angsty, you know, young child side that we saw. So
yeah, he had to take care of himself while Bowser was trapped in the mini castle. So
exactly,
unless Kamek was taking care of Bowser Jr. this whole time, which could have been the case.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. So I really hope, I'm so curious as to how they answer that. It's so interesting because, like, going back to the first Mario movie, the first trailer, like it you know, it filled in a lot, but also had left us with so many questions, you know, including like hey Robert, good seeing you, including like how did Mario and Luigi even get here? We still didn't even know at that point that they came from Brooklyn, which was awesome. Yeah. In fact, I even remember being worried during the Game Awards trailer where we see the Toad with at the antique shop like blowing on NES cartridges, and I was a little worried. I'm like, oh god, did Mario and Luigi get sucked into a video game or something? That'd be so freaking goofy. And look, that's not what happened. So I'm so eager to see how they address all this, though. So, Tommy says those people that, they were commenting how some people hate the voice, I think, for Bowser Jr. I mean, I can see why people who love Bowser Jr. might be a little annoyed with the voice. I actually really like what they've gone with so far.
Yeah, I'm fine with the voice. And Bowser Jr., again, is one of my favorite Mario. If not, he is my favorite Mario character, so.
Levy is quoting Bowser Jr. right now. Someday when I'm bigger, I'll get that Mario. See, maybe this is it. This is the follow-up to that now. This is his chance to finally get Mario. So, and he's making no bones about it. Like, he turns his freaking, you know, magic wand into a mace and just launches it across the room.
Knock off Mario's head.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I love about the movies, like how brutal these characters seem. Like, but in the game sense, like, you always have the fact that it's a game kind of undermining their intent, you know? Like, if you get hit, you just shrink, right? I guess you can die eventually too, but then you just come back. But in the movies, they have weight. It's like, no, Mario doesn't have 1-ups in the movie. You know, he's gonna be dead.
unless we see that in this movie, which we haven't seen yet, right? We haven't seen the one-ups in the Mario movie universe. So
And that's a power up I
I,
hope never appears.
I don't.
That's a
I guess
total
that's a
cop
concern,
out.
right? That's a
It's a
concern, right? Like
concern. It'd be a
yeah.
concern.
I hope the Mario. I hope the one-up mushroom doesn't appear here. I hope Mario isn't like in a shroud of rebel, and like Luigi's trying to push it off of him. He's like, "You gotta take this mushroom, Mario. Like this will bring you back to life."
Just shoving
And
it
then he
down his
does it.
throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't like mushrooms. Now's not the time." Luigi.
Yeah, Mario's actively refusing the one up. Okay, it might be funny just for that, actually. Yeah, I might allow for that. We get another super chat here from Jackson. From Jackson again. Thank you. I think it was Jackson again. Jackson Dennis. They say set up Junior for the Koopalings to appear in Mario Movie 3. Maybe we get pictures of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. I would love that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm totally cool with it. I think so far the movies have done a really good job of marrying all this assorted lore together, where it really didn't make sense. Artsy Omni said something to this point earlier, where they think that the games all just kind of exist like on their own. They never really put too much consideration into how they fit together. And I agree with that. I think it's pretty clear. That's why I like the movies, because it does kind of just, they have to make sense of this universe, you know? Like, it felt like in the first movie, they finally had to sit down Miyamoto and like, Miyamoto, answer this for us. So what does this mean, you know? And that's why it's
I
fun.
don't know.
Yeah, that's why I think that even if the movies aren't truly canon to the games, I feel like they're the closest thing to a canon we have. You know, because the games themselves aren't even canon to each other. You know, like, was Mario truly born of a stork in every game, you know? I don't know. Black Widow says, so since there are no more voice actors to be revealed now, that means Yoshi would not have a voice actor playing him. Wait, did they say that? I don't think they said that, did they?
No, I don't think they did.
Was that confirmed? I think
think it was
we
in
will
the
heard.
direct,
I think we
unless- yeah.
immediately heard that, unless we were talking over it. Yeah, I don't think they rely on the sound bank for Yoshi. Like, even if Yoshi doesn't truly talk, I would think he'd have a voice actor.
Yeah, they'll make brand new lines. Like I don't think they reused any lines for any of the other characters in the first Mario movie, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like items, but they would enhance those and make those sound a little bit different, so they fit better for a movie.
And even if there are no more voice actors to announce, that doesn't mean that there wouldn't be other characters we don't know who are aren't voiced. Obviously, there's gonna be more voice actors in the movie than we know about so far.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a huge role. So
Like example, Pauline, right? Like Pauline talks in the last
Good
movie,
one.
but Pauline didn't have a major actor, unless I didn't look up who played Pauline, but again, like they didn't make a big deal over that.
yeah, that's a good point. I guess Yoshi would be a more prominent character, but still, I mean, that does as a supporting point. So, let's see here. Anything else, chat? Is there anything else we've forgotten, chat, or haven't touched on? Any of the points you want to bring up? Let us know. But I think we've touched on everything we wanted to. I will say, like, I was so happy. I had so much fun watching the trailer for the movie. I wish I'd seen the movie, obviously. It's never done yet, so I can't even see the movie yet. But I will say, like, I'm really happy so far with everything we've seen. Despite these concerns we've had, I'm really excited by what they have shown.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. This is a great first trailer. Go ahead, what were you gonna say?
Levi has a really good reminder for me. Levi, this is a concern I have. Levi says, I hope Charles gets another cameo. Yes, that's a concern, that maybe he's not in this movie. They haven't announced him yet. So if he's not here, that would suggest that, one, Mario's family may not be back. And two, it would be sad, I think, if Charles Martinet isn't here in any way, you know? I mean, I guess it would still leave the first movie as his last official appearance in a Mario product. And I think, I mean, not counting remakes and remasters. And I think that'd be a little sad. So I would love to see if they did bring him back for the sequel. So
would people be upset if he played a different character compared to the first movie? Like, what if he is Chef Toad? And what if he has like a few lines?
That'd be
like
amazing.
Charles Martinet.
Yeah, we didn't touch on that. That's a question. What's Chef Toad's role here? They brought him back from the theme park that they made him as a character for.
Yeah, he's gonna be the one. I think we talked about it before. He's gonna be the one cooking up Yoshi's. Like he's gonna find a Yoshi egg and attempt to cook
cooking up Yoshi. No. That's even worse. Cooking up Yoshi's. Holy moly! We just got a big super chat from. Actually, we got two of them. Let me get to the big one in a second. Thank you. Crossover German had previously super chatted. Off topic, there's a new 6-minute trailer of Kirby Air Ride or Air Riders. Is there really? I missed that. So
that's so random.
I'll look into that. Thanks. Hopefully it's nothing too new. Well, hopefully it is, actually. It just means I have to go cover it if it is something new. But we have a big super chat from D-Cliff, $50. Thank you, D-Cliff. They say, I don't think Daisy will be the princess of this sand region, which takes inspiration from Tostarena from Mario Odyssey. And if you think about Nintendo, has never ignored Sarasaland anytime Daisy has had any official bio, Sarasaland has always been mentioned. Excuse me. So they're saying that because we know the desert specifically seems to be Tostarena, that's evidence that this isn't Daisy's kingdom.
And that, yeah, that we've seen that both in the first movie and the second movie, that it is obviously Toast Arena from Mario Odyssey. So again, like maybe it's a desert to a desert like connection, because again, like going off the storyboard pictures that we saw, they do have the hoods on. They are in a marketplace. That could be like the Shy Guy Bazaar from Mario Kart, which could tie into the Sarasa Land. Again, like the deserts could be ginormous, and there could be other scenes that we don't see ahead of time leading
Yeah,
up to this one.
I agree with you. I don't think it excludes the possibility of it just being an element of Sarasa Land. It could just be part of the desert. Tostarena could be a region within. Kingdoms have regions,
Yeah.
and so it's entirely possible that's the case here too. So I wouldn't rule it out entirely, but you do bring up some good points. Artsy had asked, "Do you think we'll see any scenes with Mario's family?" Well, yeah, that gets back to my concern. I hope we do. I love Mario's
Yeah.
family, and I would love to see them back, and I do hope that they're here. We do, based on the Old Spice League we touched on it earlier, it does suggest that New York will be back in some form, which to me suggests that, because of the Yoshi connection, with Yoshi being an egg born in New York, presumably, from the end of the first movie. And hopefully that means that we see scenes with Yoshi and Mario's family. I think that could be hilarious, so.
Yeah, like Mario's mom cooking up like pasta and mushrooms for Yoshi, and then maybe they're on the phone together. Like Mario's mom's like, "Oh, this green little dinosaur thing loves the mushrooms, Mario. You got to try them." And he's like, "Mom, what are you talking about? I don't
Right.
like mushrooms."
Yeah, exactly. That could be a lot of fun. So there's so much. I guess here's another concern. Actually, is this movie gonna be long enough to cover everything? The first movie was only 83 minutes, I believe, and if this movie is the same length, is that enough time to cover all of it? Some people already had concerns with the pacing of the first one. Seems like there may be a lot here to pack in, especially with we know. Bowser Jr.'s got free Bowser, Mario and Luigi being off on their desert adventure initially, Princess Peach and
Toad.
Toadette, sorry, or Toad. I keep thinking up
Toad.
Toad going off on
Many
their own
toads.
thing, and then Rosalina, how she factors in. That's
Yeah,
four groups of characters so far.
there's so much to cram in here.
Plus
Again,
Yoshi in New
if they
York.
need
Yeah,
and
five.
Yoshi in New York, if they need to expand it into a sequel, maybe they make a Mario Galaxy 2 movie, which would be funny to think about. Or maybe they're leaning off of Wicked, right? Like they have a part 1 and then a
Part two.
part 2, which would
That'd
be
be-
crazy to think about. I think they would have already announced that by now. But yeah, having all these characters in this movie, there is a lot they have to go through in a short amount of time.
There truly is. So, yeah, well, I'm excited to find out. Black Widow says, "I hope this movie is at least an hour. The first one went by so fast for me. Wait, you mean an hour longer? The first movie was almost an hour and a half. But yes, I would love it.
If this movie was only an hour, that would be, I don't know, yeah, that would be breakneck speed.
I'm kind of inclined to think it's going to be right around the same length, but I think they want to fit in the same amount of show times they did with the first one, which is based around the 83-minute runtime. But I would love if they do go a little bit longer. Maybe 10 minutes longer or something would be probably. I think that'd be
I'd be
good.
fine with
You can
that.
do a long 10 minutes exactly. So, um, let's see. Anything else, chat? Anything else? Any final questions or concerns for us, chat? But I think we've pretty much exhausted most of what we have to talk about. Besides, everything that we could go on forever about.
Yeah.
But again, like this movie's beautiful. Like I thought the first movie already looked great, but it seemed like they really stepped it up, especially in terms of the lighting in particular.
Yeah.
Partially because a lot of it's set at night, so that really lets them like go nuts with the lighting, and it just looks amazing, which it needs to for a Mario Galaxy movie, which the game itself already had really cool lighting effects.
Yeah, it's great to see these characters look this good. When I think they still look great in the games, but seeing them on the big screen and actually having so much more detail, and especially like what you said with the lighting, it really does amplify how we've seen these characters for the first time on the big screen. Again, like going back to the games, like they still look so good, especially like with the newer titles
Right.
with Mario Wonder and Odyssey. But yeah, seeing them in this way, shape, and form, I'm just so excited to see them again.
Thanks for the kind words, Game Master 2000, who says nice live discussion.
Thank
Someone
you.
someone asked a good question. Jackson asks, Bowser Jr.'s brush is it magic? Who made it? Yeah, that's something you can think about. Like, well, I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but I don't think we specifically addressed it. We know EGAD didn't make it this time because they removed his
Yeah.
emblem. So who did? Where did Bowser Jr.'s brush come from? Is it
I
Kamek?
think I think the easy explanation is going to be Kamek. I think the other route they can go from is maybe Rosalina created it at some point. And maybe that's why I guess Bowser Jr. was trying to destroy Rosalina early on. Maybe like she dumbed down his paintbrush. Like maybe it had so much more infinite power, and she was like, "No, I'm bringing it back down. Like you can't have this much control with it." Maybe that what explains like the connection between Bowser Jr.
Yeah,
and Rosalina, or like some of the villains with
because
Rosalina.
right, because we don't even know what the connection is. Yeah, between him and Bowser, or sorry, between him and Rosalina. Like, why is he? Why
Yeah,
does
why is he
he
there?
want her? Right? Why? What does he need her for? How does he even know about her? And I speculate a little bit on this in our analysis. But again, it's questions that they'll have to answer, and it'll be interesting to hear what those answers are. Brera says, "Is it a regular brush that turned magic by the Grand Stars?" Right? Maybe that's how it ties into Rosalina.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a new member on the channel, Anne Catherine
Welcome.
O'Connor. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you being here as a new member, where you get access to the highlighted messages, the icons, and early access videos every now and then. So thank you so much. Jackson says, "Twist Rosalina felt sad for Bowser. A twist. Rosalina felt sad for Bowser, and Magic made his son." Oh, I see. So Rosalina feels bad for Bowser and makes him a son.
There. Oh, maybe that's like a story she tells to the Lumas then?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we get Bowser Jr. right away? Like that's one of the storybooks that they go over? I don't know. I never thought about that one.
Yeah, nor I, so... Oh man, I love this movie. I could talk about. I mean, I love the trailer. I could talk about this movie forever. I love the first movie. I'm so excited for the second, and hopefully it won't be too long until the next one, the next trailer. We were saying earlier, maybe the Game Awards, which is what, a month away from today. You said, is that what you said?
Yeah, basically a month away. It's December 11th.
That's amazing, man. Time's gonna fly. So
Yeah.
It'll be here before we know it, and then not much longer until the Mario movie itself out in April. So
I mean, the past couple of weeks of it, we had Hyrule Warriors last week. We had all the news this week. I think what Animal Crossing news was this week, or was that last week? Everything's just jumbling together. We have Kirby next week, and then we have Metroid after that. Like, there's just so much going on.
There is a lot going on. It's pretty intense. So, well, chat, if that is it, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, I don't have too much more to say right now, but thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you all being here for our live discussion of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Nick, if people want to follow you, where can they do that at?
Yeah, you can check out my personal YouTube channel. That's Steftendo, Steftndo. Go check it out.
And yeah, definitely do that, everyone. And of course, stay tuned to GameXplain for more shorts and videos from Nick and myself. As we have, I think I have more things. At least I have more things to say about the Mario Galaxy movie, and they'll be coming up, I'm sure. So, and I've got that stuff in the other projects in the works too. So, should be a lot of fun soon. Oh, real quick, Levi asked, what could the end credits scene be? Yeah, what could the post credits tease be this time? Daisy?
Daisy is one route. I don't know if Daisy, at least for my personal taste, I don't think that'd be super, super exciting. My go-to would be Wario and Waluigi. How would it make sense here? I have no idea, but I think that would be the ones that would kind of get me to pop off on my seat.
I think the Koopalings would be a big one for me.
Yeah, that's your go-to, Koopalings. Yeah, that's a good pick.
That'd be amazing. But then that's seven characters that you have to design. And get it right, because they probably don't want to redesign them again for the third movie, so... but that'd be amazing if they did. So it could be one.
My actual pick is Link. And Link is going to be the end credits.
Oh my goodness!
And that's going to tie in Smash Bros.
Oh, Eric has an interesting thought. A tease of the DK movie. Oh, I kind of like that idea.
That's a really good idea. I never thought of that one.
King K. Rool. King K. Rool.
Okay. K. Rool at the top. That beats Wario Waluigi.
That's a king of teases right there. Oh, actually, Robert's got going too. Luigi in the mansion, creeping around, calling for Mario. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I mean, granted, we have to explain why Mario's lost, I guess, but whatever. I like it all. So this could be really neat. I like these ideas. They could do some really fun stuff. I think they'll nail the teaser this time. Whatever it is, they're gonna nail it. Unlike the first movie, which was fine, but nothing eventful. I want something on the scale of like this first Sonic movie's teaser, or like any of the Sonic movie teasers. They have great teasers at the end.
My favorite one so far has been the Shadow one, even though close second is definitely the end of the third one with Amy and Metal Sonics, how they just all appear. I'm like, oh, I did not see a double teaser here. Like, I did not expect that.
That was fun. All right, that's where we're going to wrap up, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we hope you have a great... Is it Friday today? Is it Thursday, Friday?
No, today's Thursday.
God, it feels like Friday, man. This whole week's been messed me up. But hope you guys have a good weekend when it gets here. And we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.